All right, what a sick start. We're just all like adjusting and thrusting.
Howdy, y'all.
Adjusting and thrust.
Adjusting and thrusting, man? You want to run that by?
That's what he said.
I that's what I said.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm sticking to it.
That's our episode title.
Adjusting and thrusting.
Welcome to Raising NA.
I mean, it might summarize what's going on with NACL, you know?
Hey.
Adjusting and thrusting.
You know what, Manny? I think you said the exact words out of my mouth. Welcome to Raising NA, everyone. Episode numero 11. That is 11.
Adjusting and thrusting.
Adjusting and thrusting.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Solamente en español.
So 2 weeks in a row, we're going to do a podcast, POG. First off, I do want to give a shout out to Mazel. He got me this mug.
Woo! Shout out Mazel.
And we like Mazel, so this is a cool mug. Thank you, Mazel. We're going to drink it on the podcast and give a shout out.
What's in it?
Black coffee, a dark roast.
Nice.
I've been on the 2 cups a day grind. I got a medium roast and a dark roast I've been doing. With the streams, but no stream tonight, as we're gonna actually do a podcast 2 weeks in a row. We will not be doing one next week, as you're gone.
Oh.
And because you don't get back on Tuesday, right?
I get back on Tuesday late evening.
Late evening, and then I leave on Wednesday. I'm going home for a wedding. My best buddy, who I've known since I was 3 years old, is getting married.
Nice.
So, I am standing, so I must go do that.
I'm still standing more than I
So
ever
this will be the last podcast episode we have for a little bit. I do want to try and get one before the season starts, but also there was some recent news that start could be delayed, as we are patiently sitting here waiting for the
Hoping we have a
news.
job.
The NACL.
Before we get into that, I have a surprise for you guys. I have a question.
Oh.
I'm asking you.
Oh,
Now,
surprises already.
for copyright reasons, we can't call it this or that, but I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
And we're going to call it one thing or the other thing.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So I got a question for you guys, all right?
Dude.
Faster Alt F4. All right?
Okay.
Here's the debate.
This better be twit longers.
No, it is not, unfortunately. This was made in advance. Manny versus Heimerdinger. Or EG after spring split.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Folks, if you are not listening to this podcast on YouTube or Twitch, we're gonna have to change that.
Who is the Jace player?
Coco.
Damn, y'all suck.
Honestly, yeah, we do.
It was a tough run of Clash.
Dude, our clash was down horrendous.
Is that where we're gonna start with our Clash? So
honestly,
Josh was in Phoenix. We're gonna start with our Clash.
we didn't have I didn't have my mental rock. Usually Cubby's my mental rock, but
I was
Cubby-
too busy flaming Alec and being flamed back.
Cubby was also having a tough time into Cassiopeia, and I could not bail him out on the windows that he needed me to bail him out.
Yeah, you can't bail me out if you don't come mid. So you know.
Yeah. I mean, there's other lanes in Catastrophe as well.
Everything was a catastrophe.
Listen, okay, like every lane was in Catastrophe, and it's like,
Clash
okay,
was down bad.
I will come mid, and then something happened top lane, like, okay, I'm gonna react to that. Oh, well, I'm now low on HP, I have to reset, and so everything always happened. So I mean,
Hang on, we weren't in Catastrophe.
well,
Well, not in games 1 or 3. In game 2, we were in Catastrophe. But
yeah.
games 1 and 3, we were not.
which was specifically the game where Cubby was like, okay, Cassiopeia flashes down, come mid. I'm like, okay. Oh wait, I need to save topside. Oh wait, bot lane is getting dove. Okay, well then, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Cope aside, it was the worst clash we ever played. However, I don't think I've ever seen Manny tilted so hard in my life. Manny's a really chill dude, especially in League. If shit hits the ceiling fan, Manny's all right. But you put a Heimerdinger on the enemy team, and man, just like throughout the game, I hear Manny go, guys, the vibes are ruined. The vibes are rancid.
Yeah,
fucking
it was
hate
bad.
Heimerdinger. There's not a lot that tilts me in League of Legends. I used to play like amateur, so like I've seen it all. But like fucking Heimerdinger cannot play against that shit.
Wow, so Kangas naturally has a buff against you then.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I have other buffs versus Kangas.
Like,
Like
Like
what?
my shirt.
oh, I was waiting for the punchline. Is
No, he
it?
was just harassing my shirt last night.
Oh wait, okay, this is funny. So we had a small gathering last night in which Josh was a part of for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm very tired.
Yeah, Josh is being a real trooper here. We can talk about your trip here in a sec too,
Sure.
because I'm curious to hear about what's going on with the grind.
hams and
But
the wars.
Manny, I'm gonna let you state who gave you the shirt.
My girlfriend gave me this shirt.
Let's go,
Excellent.
Manny!
Excellent. Okay, Manny got a shirt. I liked the shirt. I really did.
I like the shirt.
It's a good shirt.
It was a nice shirt, but he was sitting about where Rafa's sitting,
Yeah.
and there were a lot of zingers, especially from Kangas, being thrown at Maddie about the shirt.
From one Stephen Kangas casts, yes.
Like what?
I like the shirt. Now, there are a
that's
couple good
thing.
ones.
It looked like the professor from Jaws.
He also said, are you the mailman from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? I've been delivering.
My favorite was that I think Charlie Sheen would wear that shirt, which was mine.
That was yours.
And that was a good one. It was a fair bet. But I also said, right when you walked in, you took your hoodie off. And I was like, dude, that's a nice shirt.
Yeah.
It was a nice shirt. It was from the great country of.
Mexico.
Very cool.
Is there
Anyway.
a follow up to that?
No, we just shoot.
Isn't
shit
there a
about liking
specific
shirts.
name for shirts like that?
Bowling shirt.
Yes. I
No, not a-
don't remember what it's called, and I can't pronounce it.
A
That's all
beach
I
daddy
remember.
shirt.
I'm pretty sure that's the technical
It's
term. is a
I
beach daddy
know
shirt.
the Cuban name for it, or at least I used to know. But it is yeah.
You can-
It's a Cubano.
Nope. That's a sandwich.
I
Just
am
like a
half
shirt.
Cuban, so you could use that.
Oh, you know what? That might fit then. Well, it's a good shirt, Manny. Don't let Kangas, ruin what a nice shirt you got from your girlfriend. Let's go. Manny said it. He was very
What?
nothing. Anyway, moving on.
Jessica was yelling at all of you guys last night.
I mean-
I could only hear like bits and pieces of it, but what I did hear was funny.
Yeah, I mean, Kelsey's the goat for a reason. She addresses things bluntly and tells us to stop being inside our own heads and just, move forward with shit that doesn't need to be
You're
drawn.
bad audio.
I'm bad audio.
You might be sitting on a cord at some point.
Well,
Yeah.
Audio.
Yeah, we'll look into that a little bit.
that's a shame.
Check you're all the way plugged in too.
Is it when Angie? Is it when someone in particular is talking, or is it just bad audio in general?
This stand will not
All right, we're gonna have some adjustments. Anyway,
stay still.
is there anything else that we want to shoot the shit about before we get in the? We actually have a couple topics and some fun prep for today.
Oh, shit, we do.
Yeah, we do.
We do
Got
have some fun
some.
A
stuff.
little MSI going on. There's obviously the looming NACL discussion that has been delayed, or decision, I should say, coming down the pipeline. That we're watching intently. We're slightly invested in that.
We would like to pay rent. Well, no.
Yes.
That's a lie. We would like to have the money to pay the rent we're required to pay.
I would like to be able to be able to make a living off of what I'm doing now, because I very much enjoy my job and what I'm making a living doing.
I don't like paying rent for that, for what that's worth.
So as of earlier today, this is the news on the tweet.
Yes, it is.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So
Why is it being delayed? Because it's not just the Challengers broadcast that gets, inconvenienced by this, but it also inconveniences all the LCS orgs who are trying to now figure out, okay, are we required to field a Challengers team for summer? We're running out of the offseason. We're already halfway through MSI. LCS, and therefore, as a byproduct, Challenger season starts June 1st.
it was around there.
Any.
Well, the way I view this is that this kind of just looks like they're gonna remove the requirement. No, because it's like we're delaying the start of the season regardless. So it's like, why would you delay the start of the season if you weren't planning on removing the requirements, right? It just gives teams extra runway to get out.
Hey Manny, can you click on Neko Beans
Where?
on the right side, top
Of the
right?
screen?
Yeah,
No.
further right.
I don't see it.
Is it in trending?
No, above.
Oh, Neko beans.
What is Neko Beans?
It's
Is it a cat?
Cat.
Okay,
It's
I
a
want to see the cat.
cat.
What the? Why is it? All right.
Are you satisfied?
Not really.
That's a shame.
Lamau.
All right. It was a nice cat.
I didn't look like a nice cat, but it was a cat.
So yeah, we're
Anyway.
just kind of vibing and waiting for a decision to come in. It's gonna be interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
do we have to wait on that decision before we can progress further in the podcast?
Yes.
I mean, if we did that, we'd just be
waiting
sitting
several
here
days. Yeah.
24-hour podcast until a decision's made.
God.
We will not go off air.
Oh,
What?
sorry. Something felt wrong with my foot, but it was because the carpet was being pushed up, shagged up.
All right, cool, nice. Hey, let's start with some current events before we get into like the actual news. That, like,
Well, hang on. I want to make a thing. How do you guys feel about the statement that any LCS team that declines to continue their academy program, or sorry, challengers program, should sell their spot? Because that's what I think.
ooh,
Wait, say it again.
I think any LCS team that discontinues their challengers league should sell their spot.
Like sell the franchise spot.
Yes. I don't want them here if they're, because that just shows like you're not committed to a long-term partnership. No.
I will make some amendments to that. I think that teams that do not elect to have a full challengers team will still find other ways to be invested in the ladder and the ecosystem, and so depending on what that looks like, we could see.
I don't know. I think there are very clear counterexamples to that.
Yeah.
They could find out.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate a little bit. I think that where I agree with you is that if you don't have a challengers team, that is like step one towards stepping out. Because I still believe that if you invest in a challengers team, you could save yourself a lot of money in the long term. Like, how much money do you think EG saved on Jojo Pyun? Or Contracts was bought out? That's like one team in particular, 100 Thieves. Like, Kenby was bought out. TL, they were able to internally promote multiple players, and Ayla was bought out. Or no, I think Ayla was free agent, actually.
Yeah, I think it's free.
But I mean, the point stands, right? Like, if you do it well, you can still save a lot of money in investing in your team. So if you're smart about the business, it should be, this is me investing in my future. And if you don't want to do that, then yeah, I think it is like step one towards kind of getting yourself out of there. Now, where I will counter is that I would rather have, like, and I will be harsh towards TSM, which I know we've talked about on this podcast before.
Us? Harsh towards TSM?
But it is not fair. I don't care if your challengers team is Haunter, Svensker, and Wild Turtle. I do not care. It's not fair to them to have no coaching staff. And I would rather have a team that had a staff, like a Cincinnati Fear, that is paying less and has people dedicated to making those players better, than have TSM that puts no resources into their players. It's not fair to them. And so I think that, like, not requiring challengers teams, like, we could see better partners come in. I think that the biggest concern that I have is what kind of partners can you attract in a league when there's no chance of being promoted to tier 1 and you're just dealing with tier 2 numbers. Who are you looking to
Might
attract?
get eliminated.
A wildcard gaming. Well, we don't know how the challenger spots will turn out. It's probably going to be everyone's in the promotion relegation pool,
Yeah.
which honestly makes for a more exciting league.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah.
But it's really hard to get sponsors when, like, we don't even give them a whole lot of airtime. Like, you have to win your second game. Like, if you win your first game, like, they don't even show anything on the broadcast. So it's really hard to sell that as something that's, like, worthwhile to sponsors.
Yeah.
There's enough Twitlongers already, Sean. Why is this, like, so, like, unsteady?
Wobbly.
You can twist it in. I don't know. What else? What else do you guys?
What
What other thoughts do we have? I mean, we could talk about this for a while, frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's just like very disheartening to hear that they're doing that, because you hear like, okay, we need to reduce cost for our challengers team. And it's like, all right, you guys are saying this from your like fucking $50 million training facility that has 7 full-time employees in it. And I'm like, yep, I'm pretty sure the reason for this financial hardship is the fact that you had to pay for a challengers team.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Those like 100 Thieves, like TSM, Team Liquid, like training facility, like dick measuring contest
Bro.
videos that they did like 3 years ago
Hey,
have
Mark.
aged very poorly.
I literally, I want to make that tweet, like, who has the biggest dick, and just post, like, the training facilities, you know? It's like,
Trash compound,
this is
Alienware
what
training
challengers
facility,
died for.
TSM.
We have no one to train in the training facility, unfortunately.
This should be empty.
Yeah. We passed by the FaZe Clan training facility, even though that's not an LCS. But it's always funny to be like, I mean, I don't know how well FaZe Clan is doing over in what is their major esport, Call of Duty.
I mean, shooters.
I believe their major esport is content and raising hell.
Fair. Anyway, every
You
time
get in the news a lot.
Woo!
I pass by one of those, I mean, I remember back in like what, 2018, 2019, when those things started sprouting up and the hype around it was all super high peak. But, you know,
You remember why those really started? Because Overwatch League.
Also
and
VC.
so
I mean,
they
it was just
needed to
VC
house
money.
multiple esports teams in the same.
Well,
Area.
it's because teams at the time were expected to have a stadium to host their home games for the Traveling Roadshow.
Yeah, but like, like all the facilities are offices, you know. Like there's always like the big bullpen with like a bunch of desks where like
Well,
everyone.
the first one was
company works.
Optic, and that is not an office. That's like
Okay,
a full
true.
stadium.
That's true. That's true. Are you referencing what they built in Texas? Okay, that's
That
true.
was like the first really big one.
Yeah,
I actually put a bid in to build it.
you did.
Yeah, me and my company did.
I think it's a little bit different. And I will say, like, I think for any company, it is important and nice to have a nice office. Like, I very much believe that your most valuable asset are the people that work for you, right? Treating them well is important to success in anything in life. Like, you know, so, but if you look at what the scene was like, given the VC spending and how expensive these training facilities were, there's no question that it was extravagant. And there's no question that also because of how the owners framed it, Mark is correct in saying it was a dick measuring contest, because he first said this when I was on Hotline League with him, because they were literally competing over who had the biggest and the nicest training facilities.
I was going to say,
So he's right in the fact that like owners
Mark
got petty
Z
about
for
it.
clarification,
Yeah.
if anyone's confused.
I do think you can get a nice training.
Yeah,
or
Mark
a nice
C does not
office.
say dick.
I think you can get a nice office for less than 50 million. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Now, there are like some smart things. Like I will give 100 Thieves some credit. They find a way to monetize that facility. It was a cash app compound. They have rappers on there that promote their new merch drops, the Attack on Titan stuff. They get the Juvie, which is like their own brand. That's whatever. We start doing things to try and monetize that. And the other big issue is like the lack of monetization still. That's what it comes down to, right? So why are we building these 40 million training facilities when we can't monetize a fan?
Yeah, that's the question. I mean, listen, if I learned anything from you know, those videos that came out when franchising happened, franchising is gonna allow NA teams to bring up more rookies, more talent, right? That's what they said.
That didn't really pan out for every team. There was a couple teams that did it really well. I mean, like when we look at,
I think GG they have a roster now that they're winning with, but they had like a respectable attempt and did legitimately develop some talent in like looking at how closer FBI and Hui grew with them, right?
Yeah, but was that more? Is that really more talent that was than was coming into the league before via relegation?
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting we return to that. It's not sustainable. Speaking of things that aren't sustainable business-wise, anyone that's saying bring back relegation isn't being very serious about anything. But
Yeah, that is true.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know if the amount of like that was just in my opinion, it was a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
Where they were like, it's going to allow us to bring in more talent.
Let's take a look at the current domestic talent pool that was brought up when franchising era began, which was 2017, 2018, right? That includes Blabber from C9's scouting. Vulcan. That was Clutch back in its time. Spica, TSM.
Soro.
Licorice, Revenge. Trying to think of that generation of players as well. Or actually, Revenge was 2019, I think. Well, okay.
Big dogs.
Dokla. Well, okay. What I'm trying to get at is I want to look at the orgs that came through on the promise of developing players that are now, I want to think, are prominent
Contracto.
in our current LCS landscape.
Juanito.
Like when franchising started? Or
Yes,
before
when
that?
franchising started. So as soon as franchising started, what was the immediate class of players from that era that now, from the scouting of each of those orgs are now doing well in the LCS 4 or 5 years after they were founded?
I think all the names you just listed.
Yeah. I think the easiest three are the Blabber, Spica, and Vulcan.
I mean, at this point, I would even argue for Palafox, because he would have been around back when that was the case.
I think Palafox...
A Blaze Olive would have also been one. I know
Zazel.
he's retired now. Zazel, yeah, he's back. I guess, like, where are you going with this? Or, like, kind of like what's...
I'm trying to distinguish which orgs are trying to get out of having a challengers team,
TSM.
and also did not bring up talent, because then there's a pattern. Because the whole idea of franchising was, hey, you're getting guaranteed income so that you invest that into scouting domestic talent and facilitating them and giving them the time to grow, so there's no pressure on you to win splits in like, oh, we need to win this next split. Oh, we need to win summer. We need to win spring. We need to win this very next year. I don't think there is a single team during 2018 till now who said, you know what, let's go budget, and we're going to just take domestic talent or some domestic talent and give them 2 years, no changes whatsoever, and then see how they grow, see how they cultivate.
I mean...
We almost got that with CLG.
CLG slash NRG.
Yeah, CLG was the closest.
Honestly, they gave it the longest run that you should give it. And this is why I actually brought up GG, because like when I think of like, I'm gonna use a lot of traditional sports analogies here. Like when I think of like, so Golden Guardians, right? Let's call them, they're a middle of the pack team with how they're positioned in the league in terms of spending, right? So your goal, if you're a middle of the pack team, is that you have to be smart, and you eventually have to find a way to compete with the top dogs with less money, right? And that's why I think GG did a nice job with that, because if you think of that roster they had with FBI, Hui, and Closer, they did get buyout money for all that. They did a lot better than what you would think they would have done that split with that. Mm-hmm. That should be the goal of these orgs. Now, how they get there, yeah, I'd love to see them invest in the talent here. I think there are advantages to that. I think a lot of people do not realize like how difficult it is to bring an 18, 19-year-old that doesn't speak the language over to LA to live here away from their home country for the first time. Not every 18 or 19-year-old is going to be able to handle that. It takes, like, I think, a really special kid to be able to handle that, quite frankly. Like, I don't think the majority of players are equipped for that, right?
Yeah, most people.
I mean, even if you do speak the same language, like
just talking in a human aspect, you're away from home.
Yeah.
You're young.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, which is why, when teams pick up talent that they scouted in solo queue, no matter what region they're from, I want, if teams are committing to someone, then it's been frustrating that within the past years, we never saw more than like a full year's worth of investment.
Yeah, like, I mean, the easy example to do right now is like Tenacity is frustrating, right? And like, I know that like how that was handled is frustrating.
Are we
I
talking
think
about Tenacity now.
I mean, I think that's the easiest, like, just one-off example, right? But I do think that, like, I mean, some orgs gave it a go. Like, I'll give Immortals credit. IMT, do they have fantastic rosters? No. But, like, they've given Kenvi a go.
Yeah.
They got Revenge a nicer home. And, again, if you're Immortals, you're at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to spending. What is the best thing you can do as an org?
Yeah.
Your best player went to EG. That's going to make a lot of people be like, I would rather play for IMT than Dig or TSM. It will, like, that is what you're fighting for when you're not at the top of any league, right? So
By
I think,
the
like,
way, that sentence when franchising started in 2018, that people would rather play for like Immortals than TSM, it would be crazy. I just want to point that out.
that,
Well, I mean, 2017.
2018,
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
like at the start of franchising.
Yeah.
Given what
TSM
TSM
had
was.
made
Yeah,
every
yeah.
final.
No,
where it's like-
I'm being an ass because
that's
Immortals was
fine.
pretty good in 2017. Flame McSmithy, let's go. Anyway.
dude, Flame is my fucking goat, man. we don't want to go down the rabbit hole of Nostalgic League again,
Yeah.
but Flame is my boy.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, this is also like where we get into like the tough question of like Team Liquid, right? So like TL, like they're the top dogs like in terms of spending. They've every year it's like, or every split it's like, all right, I got to root for, like, I'm rooting for Bwipo, then I'm rooting for Summit. Before that I was rooting for Impact. Like, there are a lot of changes. Now, I think that if you are at the top, you can afford to position yourself to try and give yourself the best opportunity to win the league. I don't fault teams for doing that. I know that TL, they spent a lot of money on the salary where it was the Bwipo Core JJ team. But also, I think it's good to have a team that like pushes the limits of what, I think it was too much, but it's good to have a team that raises the bar of what it means to compete in LCS. And that is what, like, in theory, the bigger spenders should do.
A team that raises NA.
Yes. Thank you. Like, they should give you at least the baseline of, like, these are the things that make this team successful. We can't afford all that, but what can we afford that works for them that, like, can work for us, right?
Yeah.
That is, like, that is a baseline that a lot of people think about and talk about in sports, right? Like, what made this org so damn good? Like, why do the Warriors have a dynasty? And why are they down 1-3 to the Lakers right now? That's pissing me off.
What does that mean?
These are the questions.
Yeah. But I think that is, like, the legitimate look at franchising. And one of my bigger criticisms has always been that the teams that don't have the most money, I don't think have made great decisions. Like, I cannot look at a single Dignitas roster at, like, where they've been positioned in the league and be like, you're making a good, like, this is good calls to, like, try and, like, up the bar, right? And I know that, like, Immortals, you know, they were outperformed. They weren't a great team. I could at least see the theory of what Immortals was doing. So,
Like, the nice thing with Immortals is that they are, even if I don't agree with, you know, every single piece that they bring together, I at least appreciate that they're trying to build around, you know, a prospect that they believe investing in. You know, Kenvi is now
Yes.
entering his third split.
Fuck
and
it, yes.
As far as I know, he is still going to be on the roster. And that, you know, this is that's all I'm asking is like, hey, listen, like, Kenvi is a player that when we saw him in amateur, he literally was blitzing every other team, every other jungler in the league by far. The only person that could hold his ground was Mike Young, and Mike Young has had experience in the LCS. So, like, that, and even then, Kenvi was just, like, mechanically insane. And we all know that, like, you know, the thing that's just holding him back is his ability to communicate effectively for his team what he needs to succeed and how to communicate his actions and his movements throughout the game. Once that hurdle is completed, I still, and I imagine that most of us share this opinion, that Kenvi would be one of the greatest junglers in LCS. He has not achieved that form yet, but Immortals see that vision, and they're still giving him time, which is all I ask, you know? If we go into the summer split, and Kenvi still doesn't hit that mark, you know, and then we go into 2024 for spring, I don't know what will happen, but I will appreciate that Immortals, like, gave Kenvi probably longer time than any of the other orgs in the LCS probably would have. They probably would have canned him after his debut split in summer.
You're also, because you are a lower budget team, you are forced to do that because the guy has hands, and it's like, how can we win games? We need to make this guy work. Like, they had to make Revenge and Kenvi work because, again, if you're a lower budget team, so, like, I will draw on a sports analogy right now. Great example. There are baseline rookie contracts in a lot of sports, right? So if you're the number 1 pick in the draft, you get this contract, right? So like the Blackhawks, they just got the first pick in the draft in the lottery. They have literally the greatest generational talent that hockey's probably ever seen. They now get to pick him with the first pick.
Wait.
Like since Sidney Crosby, who is still playing today and like is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, what all Blackhawks fans want the Blackhawks to do is that you're going to have a great player on this rookie contract, so you're going to put a great team around them, and you can actually win because you're getting a lot of bang for your buck there, right? And that is where I give Golden Guardians a lot of credit. Like, they picked up Licorice in the offseason, they picked up River in the offseason, and they found the pieces around them to make that roster work. Like, that is a long-term investment into what your end goal is, and like GG actually were able to execute that really well with Stixay. I think Stixay deserves a lot of credit for that, right? I think that TL, they failed this year, but I think their approach was smart. Like, hey, we have 2 rookies that we can put in. We'll put a good team around them. If they play well, we're going to be just fine. We're going to save money, right? Like, that is good roster building strategy in my head. Like, in the NFL right now, rookie quarterbacks, they're on a required contract. They're the highest paid players in the league. You have a 4-year window where with a first-round pick, you get a QB on a rookie salary where you get to put a lot of good players around them and try and win. That's how the Rams won. That's how the Chiefs have won. With Mahomes, they have to pay Mahomes now, so it's harder. Like, these are things that happen in sports. Obviously, the market's different. There's no salary cap, but that is a way to kind of game the system in your favor. Like, I feel like the orgs that have actually had an approach to do that, like, that's why I credit the Golden Guardians first. Like, that's smart. For me, that's smart roster building. And I'd rather have them invest in talent here, but they managed to make it work, so props to them. If that involves imports, fine.
Yeah.
You got to be competitive as a team, right?
Yeah. I mean, I also agree that, it would have been nice if Golden Guardians had, instead of, looking elsewhere for a mid laner, they had brought someone up from mid. But, the nice thing is that at least Licorice and Stixay narratively have now found redemption arcs, and that is a nice win for NA sentiment overall, because Stixay had, had this split not happened for Stixay, and Stixay's story becomes, he was this guy that had like a fluke debut where, he popped off and then he never
Slowly fell off over time.
and just slowly fell off over time, which unironically, we've had many NA players have a similar story. Maybe not to the same height as Stixay, but there have been players like Dardoch who were super hyped to come in, and they just never saw that form. Mike Young had a great first year, and then afterwards just slowly started declining, right? There's so many NA players that will come in hyped up as rookies, and then they just never come back to that form. Stixay did get back to the form. Licorice, is, in some similar ways, is also seeing that.
Yeah, he went from being like one of the worst players in the league in regular season to like actually winning his team games.
And he's kind of the most consistent player for Golden Guardians internationally right now, too.
Yeah, it's pretty well.
It's fucking sick. Go Eric Ritchie, man. Keep going, dude. So, and also props to Huhi. I think, technically he is a Korean by resident, but
nah, man.
he's now NA.
Nothing.
Hey, we rep 2014 Big Foul Miracle in this house. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Like, I'm just saying it because I know people are going to be sticklers about it. It's like, well, I mean, who's technically Korean? It's like,
nothing pisses me off more than that.
Sure.
Like, legitimately,
Me too.
nothing pisses me off more than that.
Me too. Yeah. Like, I consider Huki NA because of his investment into LCS and the fact that he's been here for so long.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
agreed. I'm turbo shit posting about the Big Foul Miracle. That's just to clarify.
So, like, even though that River and Gory, are the 2 imports that Golden Guardians brought in, and, a lot of people will try to, from the outside looking in, internationally will just be like, oh, well, River and Gory is the only reason why this team is doing super well. It's like, no, Licorice is fucking actually holding his own and being super consistent. Stixay has had great moments, and Huhi is like the glue that holds this whole team together.
He's the kind boy.
Yeah. I mean, every time I see Huhi playing on stage, no matter if they're losing, no matter if they're winning, he is having a great time. He is having the time of his life. And I think those vibes actually like help the team environment.
No, God, yeah. I mean, if you're going to work through anything for a long period of time, having someone that's going to like just be a good guy.
Yeah.
Like that's always going to help.
So shout outs to Golden Guardians. I mean, their roster building strategy this year, it worked and it had a great run. I think, obviously they didn't win the LCS split. Cloud9 was still the better team in the end, but people are still going to remember the Golden Guardian
That was helpful.
run through the lower bracket and taking down what everyone kind of took for assumption, not only EG but also FlyQuest.
JDG?
That is, it's not tomorrow.
Right, you're talking about the lower bracket run they're going to make at MSI, right?
Oh, I think if I would love to be the person that doubles down and says, yeah, Golden Guardians all the way, they're going to upset everyone. I feel like everyone's just going to call me out on bullshit and be like, there's no way you legitimately believe that. So even if Golden Guardians win, I don't get to celebrate. It's like, well, they just whatever. No one could have predicted that. And I think if they do well, I don't think anyone can legitimately predict that. They have very tough opponents in this international bracket. So if they overperform them, then I think all we can do is just celebrate that.
I think
see what happens.
They've already done what they were expected to do. So I think anything from here is just, whipped cream on top.
Yeah.
Seriously. I don't expect them to win any more series. I don't. I expect
Thought
them
you
to
were
get
gonna say
here.
cream pie for a second. I was like, wow, that's
No. Anyway,
lot of
get your head out of the fucking gutter.
yeah.
Before we do MSI stuff.
Yeah, do we want to talk about anything else with challengers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have something. Actually, Josh, can I borrow your mic?
Okay.
I have to come over here for this.
Oh, shit.
Manny's on camera.
Get some couch, buddy.
Let's go, Manfred.
Get some fucking couch.
You usually do this. All right. I have a take for you guys.
Okay.
And so I have a bone to pick with a recent roster decision by 100 Thieves.
Oh,
Okay.
I am going to make the argument that this Tenacity move is one of probably the dumbest roster decisions of all time, given his history as a player. I would say here's a better way to rephrase this. 100 Thieves' handling of Tenacity compared to other top prospects, or just as a top prospect, has just been nothing short of an organizational failure. Like, it has been
Pretty bad.
terrible, like actually terrible. All right. So just for the people at home, right? Tenacity's story on 100 Thieves, he comes in with that hyped up 2020 100 Thieves next roster. They're like, this is our guy. He's the future. We believe in him.
Him and Kennedy were promoted early.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He moves up to Academy. And what does he do in Academy? Well, they basically just win. I mean, there's ups and downs, right? Because they're developing players, right? But
They were
for the most part,
They were a top 3 team the entire time.
yeah, the whole time they were there, right? And then so 2022 rolls around and they're like, hey, we believe in this guy, Tenacity. He's our future top laner. He's our guy. We're going to do a 6-man roster. And this whole time, by the way, while he's playing in Academy, rumor has it, there's giga buyouts for this guy.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of teams.
This is when the buyout market was like at its peak.
So you can't buy him out. They say we're gonna promote him on the 6-man roster. He gets one fucking game in lock-in, and he is never seen again for the rest of the year. They don't say anything.
Actually, funny behind the scenes story from that. He said it was a Max Waldo angle, which is kind of sad. He just ended up like becoming a positional.
Yeah, I heard he was like a positional.
But also, that's just a banger comment saying it's a Max Waldo angle. Anyway.
Yeah. So they basically do this, goes through 2022, he doesn't progress. Then 2023, they finally promote him, and he has, he commits, he has a good rookie split, right? Like he goes up. So he has, when I say good rookie split, right? I don't mean you're supposed to come in like fucking Stixay did and win the league instantly, right?
Yeah,
Not everyone is JoJo, and that shouldn't be the expectation. For a lot of rookies, right? You have a rookie split where you are, you have some good moments and you have some bad moments, and that's good for a rookie.
He was forced to play a style that he had never played before,
And he won.
and did fine.
He did good on it.
He
And
only
then-
ran it kind of.
yeah,
at times.
Sometimes. But the thing is,
he's a rookie.
kind of the expectation for rookies, right? There's only so much that you can learn in
Hey,
Academy.
I was the biggest Busio supporter, and I still am. And I was like, this guy is going to have some games where he fucking runs it. And he did.
Exactly.
And that's fine.
A great
Your
example.
support.
He actually played well. That's
The laning
that was
phase.
pick.
The laning phase was
He played
alright.
fine.
Actually,
That pick's garbage.
a great example of this is Fudge, where when Fudge came into the league during that lock-in tournament, they're like, oh my God, Cloud9, why would you ever promote this guy over Licorice? He's running it every game. He's losing both sides of
Don't
every
worry,
matchup.
They promoted him over Copy too. You know.
He's running it down on Lulu every game. You know, like this guy is terrible. But then by MSI, he was, you know, solo killing like good players at MSI, unlike Leeson. And now he's, you know, first all-pro top laner. He's really good. It just takes time, right? You're not going to come onto the stage and know everything that you know, right? So he has for the crime of having a good split, playing a good amount of champions in multiple different styles, making playoffs, and winning a playoff series. They have decided, all right, that's it. The guy we said was going to be the guy for the last 3 years.
See ya.
Fuck you, you're out, right? Like, goodbye.
Bring back
And
the
it's
Hall
like,
of Famer.
Then not only that, exactly, you replace him with the guy that was there previously that you were waiting for. And it's like, okay, so not only did you not promote him, right? You spent all this time on this guy saying he was going to be the next big thing. You promote him for one split and decide he's done. You don't get a buyout for him or trade him for another player. You just let him walk for the guy you had before. Like, that is just an organizational disaster. Like, this whole story is a disaster. Like, I have no idea how they let this happen.
I have no idea where the money comes into this because I assume the money is going to have a bit of an impact on why these decisions were made. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's not good.
It's terrible.
I'm
And
also curious how much of the players had a say in whether Tenacity got to stay or not.
Still, I mean, as an org, you can say, fuck you guys, we believe in this guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, it's like, or the guy that you've been training up for 3 years, you give him more than one split. And then also it's like, okay, he had a pretty good rookie split. 100 Thieves, they're like, okay, we have championship aspirations. We expect more of our rookies. We expect them to be, you know, generational rookies when we put them in for some reason. You know, even though no one does that, right?
I mean, it's tough because, like, obviously, like, you know, when you watch challengers, like, we have people that win and play well. Like, I mean, I stand by, like, what Josh said with, like, TLA. I think they would have been, a 7th, 6th place LCS team. Like, from last year. And, you know, when they get to the next stage, it's like, I expected the A1 and Boostia to, like, perform pretty well. I think that the rest I had ranked, like, middle of the pack at best. For rooks that, like, came in this year.
But, like,
and it's hard to clarify, like, hey, we've seen Harry dominate every mid laner. Like, he's won every challengers game. And it's hard to go from that to, like, hey, we expect him to be middle of the pack. Like, there's definitely, like, something, like, you got to jump over. And sometimes fans, like, they aren't patient enough to put 2 and 2 together and, like, you know, let it cook.
Yep.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, if you're 100 Thieves and you're like, well, we expected more from this guy, I'm sure he didn't expect to have his coach fired in the middle of the split. I'm sure he expected to have an analyst on their team. Like, maybe there's a couple more things you probably could have done for this guy while he was on your team developing in the split. But you're like, nah, this is irredeemable. One split, he's gone.
It is.
The worst part,
Yeah.
and this is the part that actually makes me angry, is you've done all this to him. You kept him in academy prison for years with this buyout. You promote him for one split, and you're like, goodbye, you're gone. A one split hiatus like this, because now it's looking like with EG's roster getting, you know, the leaks coming out today, it's almost certain Tenacity's not going to be on an LCS team in the summer split.
Yeah, it's going to be...
And that in LoL Esports is really fucking bad to be teamless for a split, which is the worst part of this, is that they could have just fucked up his career. They could have just ruined his career. And if you don't believe me, ask Jensen. Ask about how hard this is to get back onto a roster.
Ask like Mike Young.
Ask Jensen, ask Sneaky, ask Zazel, Svenskeren, Contracts, Dokla. Who else? I could probably keep going. I mean, there's like a million people where it's like, if you have a perceived loss
Solo
of
every
form
split.
and you're out of the league, it's so hard to come back in.
Rush.
And it's
Arrow.
like he might never get that opportunity again. And that's why I'm like, this is one of the worst.
Lorlo. I've always
Yeah.
thought Lorlo's actually
Lorlo,
really good.
yeah.
I actually always thought Lorlo was pretty good.
Yeah. So that is why I believe that this is one of the worst LCS roster decisions that's ever been made. And you know what? They'll probably win some more games because they have someday, but I think long term it's pretty bad.
And this comes back down to my overall frustration. And maybe I can be, I don't know, more sympathetic since we're in a situation where the economy is not as forgiving now. But still, it's just clear to see that LCS orgs are insanely pressured to just always have to win championships.
But I
Always
thought franchising was going to give them more time to bring up rookies.
Hey, at least we built all the $50 million compounds when the economy was good. You know,
Yeah.
we don't need that money.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's like,
I mean,
sure,
yeah.
we don't have people to train in our training facility.
I mean, it's just so bizarre. I mean, obviously, like hindsight is 2020, and now we can look back and meme all the orgs. But it really is bizarre that like, what did they think was happening? Like, did they think that this was just going to be around forever? That this money
Yeah.
was always going to? Damn,
Yeah,
Infinite growth, boy.
God.
it's fucking cooking, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway.
anyway, who cares about where the money's going? That team built a $30 million facility.
Yeah,
We must be bigger in the pants.
it's true. That was my tenacity spiel.
Yeah.
I will return to my corner. But
I mean, Manny,
I wanted
that.
to talk
That was actually a fucking banger.
Yeah, I mean,
it was this is horrible. Like horrible. If EG's roster hadn't blown up, this would be like the main like what the fuck are you doing story of the offseason, basically.
You,
And
you, you know what's funny? So I said, is that he joked about it when he was the sixth man, it being a Max Waldo angle, and now it's like actually sadly a Max Waldo angle.
yeah.
Goddamn.
I mean, like this also brings up, I mean, how upset many of us were about Copy announcing his retirement. That is another failure on multiple orgs and just the LCS system in
I
general.
don't want to go out and like speak for Copy or whatever. But I think that if the news circling Challengers isn't what it was, then I think the odds that he gives another split are much higher.
I still think that like Cloud9 should have like under CLG and NRG. I think one split. They were doing fine.
He played good the split.
He played. This was his best split.
Spawn said it was his best split. I don't know if it was his best split, but he played good this split.
No,
Best split copy.
I thought his best split was honestly with Malice, because I don't know how he played with Malice and was so good. If I'm being real,
I mean,
that's a tough assignment, man. He did really well there.
I think when best split, when you look at just how he did relative to the rest of the competition in his lane and his pool, I think there is always like a couple other laners that were starting were always better than him in the other splits. But apart from, the Diplex MNS switch, maybe Balulu to an extent, Copy was like by far the best.
I mean, Eminez was always a great player. It's just a question of whether or not you can do the work. And C9 made it work. So I don't blame C9 at all for that.
Yeah. It's just disappointing that like had Cloud9 given a Copy a chance when instead of doing the whole fudge mid bullshit.
Yeah, I got flamed for fuck out of that. And yeah, I should have went harder.
I mean, like, because now Copy is, forced into a window where it's like, wow, like I'm not being given the chance and I don't know how long I can just continue waiting. Yeah. I want to move on with my life.
Also, I will say that with the changes to challengers going on, that are,
For free?
potentially on the docket, whether that is this summer or next, salaries are likely to correct. That makes the value of getting a full ride scholarship compared to playing an amateur a lot more, because odds are the full ride scholarship might be the equivalent of what you would be making as a salary in amateur.
Yeah.
And you could go get an education and also do this.
This-
And also, it would supplement a free education, which in America is one of the sickest fucking value adds ever, because privatized school is expensive as fuck and fucks everyone in the ass.
It is. It is insanely expensive. And especially in this economy, you would think that like maybe private schools would be lowering tuition, but tuition is just getting expensive even more and more almost every
So-
like 5 years.
As someone who went to a private film school, I can attest. It's not looking good.
How much
My-
debt
my
are you
wallet,
in?
Boys. $56,000.
How much does that compare to when you started?
Started school or
Or
started?
or ended your school?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I'm making the payments. I mean, that's
Nice.
about it. So, but yeah, no.
Yeah, the one
education
debt you
costs
can-
an arm and a leg.
The one debt you can't default on, guys. Love America. Anyway, let's not get too political here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I just want to say while we're talking about collegiate, right now, if you're an aspiring pro player, go play collegiate.
Really? You're just get? I will say for this split, I would play challengers in a heartbeat.
No. I'm saying like
I'd play for Maryville.
if you're not already in Challengers League, go play collegiate. And like I think collegiate right now is the haven that you can go to while the uncertainty of Challengers League is still up in the air. And you know,
I still think the value of Challengers League, if it is the best odds you have to go pro, but collegiate is the safest route that you're going to have to continue on the life path you want to be on.
it will sustain you.
If
it will
salary is
sustain you.
correct.
Yes.
If salaries, and when I mean correct, I mean go down. Because that will happen if challenger teams are not required.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is that they will no longer, fewer teams will have to pay the California minimum state wage.
Like if LCS just
They'll go be based in Illinois or Austin.
If
and
if
Texas,
LCS
these people.
does eventually just end the Challengers League at some point,
It's not going to end. There will be an official Riot League and a broadcast.
okay.
But
so,
the league's going to change a lot.
yeah. And so
Potentially.
what I mean by
Yeah.
that is that if
Good catch.
if you're no longer requiring LCS teams to field Challengers rosters, I expect that instead of amateur teams, there should just be more collegiate teams. And
yeah, a lot of players. Yeah.
and a lot of the like the current star power on amateur teams, not already on challenger orgs or LCS orgs, and if they drop those teams, then the star power in those players should just whichever collegiate program starts giving the best benefits.
I mean, at the moment, there are 4 teams left. So when I say there are 4 teams that can realistically win a collegiate championship, it does sound like a cop-out. But honestly, like, let's just say there's 8 schools that can realistically compete to win. Mm-hmm. I expect that number to go up a little bit. And I think that the collegiate, I mean, this is another discussion. There are a lot of things that need to be improved with collegiate. I think right now, the lack of a transfer portal and the fact that people can hop schools every year is not good in the long haul. I think like, that's not good for people's education. There's no systematic way to recruit. Recruiting is actually, you literally are going through the ladder and being like, are you going to college? Mm-hmm. Like,
also have
are you
to-
interested in scholarships?
They also have to get people to like give a shit about collegiate again in the same
Yeah.
way they used to like 5 or 6 years ago when they would like really hype up the college championship. Because
Yeah.
now they don't really do that anymore.
Also,
They
Top
should have
5
a relegation
broadcast.
collegiate system.
huh?
They should have a relegation collegiate system. No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Like a 32-team league?
No, like a 10-team league. Like you have your 10 best schools. That's they just do a league, and then that's the only ones who can win the CLO championship, and then top 2 or
They-
bottom 2 just go down to the worst league, and then you have like 4 layers of a league.
Make it 16 and I like it.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
A number
16 teams.
less than 32.
I mean, so I think like the issue with the game is like there's not enough players to realistically sustain like 32 schools. Like to have 32 schools be competitive. 16 though for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's already happened. I mean, like look at like a Lorem Dardock, right? Like they went to UST.
Yeah.
I guess.
Why not, Sean? Most of the teams fucking suck. You realistically, at any given point, you have like 16 teams that can even think about going to the LAN.
I mean, I want the ability for every college to be able to field a team and compete, but at
Yeah.
the highest level.
And this is how you get. This is how you get like your big schools. This is how you actually get like your UCLA's
It
and
is.
like UWs and
the Big Ten schools.
yeah, the Big Ten schools. Like this is how you fucking get them to do school or to do teams. Is you actually have a reason. Like this is going to be really broadcasted.
Yeah.
Right. The
And-
fucking way that it's done right now, when Mark is like, "Oh, I'm doing the fucking Mountain League," and when I'm doing, it's like, "Oh, I'm doing UW versus UBC," and that was a matchup that mattered. And you had like UCI doing their own broadcast. Like
Yeah.
nobody fucking watches any
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Like, and you
Pack
need
esports
people to
league.
watch it, or big schools are never gonna do it.
Well, it's
Yeah.
crazy because in the past, people did used to watch it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was like a mock.
I mean, the viewership numbers are like pretty good for top 8 last
I
year.
will say-
I checked. I was a part of it.
As someone who played collegiate for 2 years for a small school and was 1 game away from making it to the national championship, because I played in the partner conference, my team should never have been within 100 miles of the national champion.
Yeah, we were pretty pissed.
Where it's like we're like a couple master tier players and like some diamond players, and then it's like okay, in the first round you're going up against a full scholarship team.
Yep.
It's like got like 4 challenger players. And it's like there should be divisions in the same way that there's like, for example, right? Like it's like there's like division 1, 2, and 3, right? In the NCAA. And
So
it doesn't necessarily mean that the division 3 schools are badly run. It just means that the resources are different, right? Like you can't judge Ohio State and like the best D3 team in the same category.
So what I will say is that the partner conferences were a way for Riot to work with like the actual conferences that are in place for traditional sports and try and get those schools involved. That in itself is a good idea. The execution of how the bracket worked was bullshit.
It was terrible.
Because guess what? Me and Dylan were on the desk for that year of the 21 year of C-Law. Dylan was my jungler at the time and still one of the best kids I coached. He works with young men now as a teacher and is a fantastic person and coach himself, I'm sure. He founded the league team at his program or like his school. Like he's a great dude. We were covering a plat team. And the team from our conference that got invited, Buffalo, they made top 8 and they took a game off Maryville. That was the team that we lost to. Like, it's bullshit. Like, why are 4 teams of Platts playing when like we're on the broadcast, right? So yeah, like it's not perfect. I think that the way the partner conferences work, though, it is a good idea to get more schools involved. But also, I'm aligned with Josh and like that there should just be a super league. Like just have a super league of collegiate teams.
If I got to see UCI and Maryville and UST and fucking
play every week,
play every week.
I'm all like, fucking in.
I'll do that.
I want to be a part of that.
I don't fucking care about watching. You know, I mean, the classic thing is I don't fucking care about watching anything else in West other than UCI, Simon Fraser, and UBC. Like everything else, they just fucking suck.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
I was honestly surprised when I saw the original CeeLo bracket and I saw my alma mater, University of Utah, being there for the first time. I was like, every year we can barely get like a Grandmasters player.
Yeah.
I like the last time we had a Challengers player was like an 80 carry player named James back in 2019, and that was his senior year. And then afterwards, I would always check the rosters like, oh, we got one Masters player. That's cool. Everyone else is Diamond. Like, you know, not to shit on them. And I think like and the sad thing for me is I genuinely believe that University of Utah Esports is actually equipped with one of the...
They had a great program.
Yeah.
So they have one of the top games majors in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like their games degree, if you go into game design there, that is like one of the best schools you can
EAE, go. Electronic Arts Engineering.
And they run their esports program through that.
Yes.
Because I know this because at Miami, we have like, I think back when I was in school, like we had like 4th or a 5th of the budget. We didn't even have like an official games major yet. We were always our program was always trying to compete with theirs. Because we were still like nationally ranked, even though like our budget was way less. It was like something, you know, our professor was like really prideful of, and they're always like, Utah's like the gold standard of what we want to do, given how good their games major is and how good their esports program was, like what they built out infrastructure-wise. Yeah. It was really good. Like it's a ton of props to them.
Yeah. I think they always did better in Overwatch than compared to League, from what I heard. But like University of Utah has like this fantastic broadcast program, and they have all these fantastic resources. They just built an actual esports facility recently, which, you know, may or may not be the reason why, you know, their players did slightly better this year than compared to other years. And
wow, bias caster.
I don't know. Like I haven't visited my campus since I started casting in 2018. Like I dropped out of and I didn't finish, but it was really cool when we did like a couple casts there for the PAC-E league in 2019. But I imagine that, hear me out, like I don't know how like the correct way of going about this, but combine the resources that Riot wants to do for Challengers League in whatever shape or form, and just do CeeLo top 10 instead.
I would argue they should stop doing half measures and pick one or the other.
Yeah, I think you should just, at this point, if LCS orgs are starting to pull out...
You go Collegiate. Collegiate solves the money problem. It does. Collegiate solves the money problem, guys.
Yep.
There's so much fucking money in privatized institutions in America. It literally solves the money problem. Because you can use this. This is how we pitched it to our program. We literally we made the most headway when we went to recruiters at our school and we were like, hey, the odds of your socioeconomic status like being higher if you play games, it's higher because computers are that fucking expensive in the US. You're more likely to be a STEM major. We gave them the advertising data where it's like these are kids that are smart with tech. They get around ad blocks, so like there's gonna be sponsors and advertise. And we said that 25% of the population that like watches this game come from the Trans-Pacific area. And guess what? At Miami, Ohio, if you're one of the students, you pay twice the tuition that a normal student pays if you're an international student. So they all of a sudden looked at us like, can we put this in brochures? Because it's a huge value add for the university. Like then it's like, can we give scholarships? Because if we are able to attract this type of student, we make more money off them. Or like it's appealing. We can compete with other schools. We can like look good, right? College does solve that problem if it is a money problem. And they already have the infrastructure to actually fucking do this.
Yeah, just like if LCS orgs don't want to field Challengers League teams, and for the few that want to, either combine and I don't know what the appropriate business term is.
Well, no. With that said,
Let me finish,
okay,
bro.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Have
Let him cook. Let him
for the LCS orgs that still want to field a Challengers League team after the eventual requirement for Challengers League teams is gone. LCS orgs should just partner with certain collegiate schools and then have them be their main like talent.
Kelsey, you're in there.
I don't love that.
Give fucking scholarships to UW students.
I will say a caveat with this: getting actual on the ground, getting the support of some of these smaller schools, the administrations, is really annoying.
It is.
Someone had to
It is.
try to do this. Like for us, like we pulled together our tiny thing. We were like one game away from winning ECAC in 2021, and we had also at the same time, I had built with our backup producer Mary Turner. We created a broadcast of that won a like national award for like collegiate broadcasting and everything. And we went to the school and we're like, hey, you guys have this big thing. We could be a value add because it's COVID. Remote broadcast, very important right now. Esports also kind of blown up. This could be a way to get more people to your institution, which is losing lots of students. But unfortunately, they didn't quite go for that. So, having to deal with people within those institutions sometimes is very difficult when they're like,
It is.
they're like, we won't let you can play League of Legends, but like you guys can't play Valorant and CSGO because there's guns. And I was like, wow, you guys really haven't looked too closely at League of Legends, but
It is.
we're not going to like,
The really tough part was like some of those schools. I'll use the Big Ten for a few examples. If you're going to the Big Ten, I know this from talking with Ohio State students and Michigan students, every discussion is why would we spend money on this instead of football? That's every discussion. And that is a real problem that the really big schools face. Second, Big Ten Network and the Big Ten League. That was more popular than Challengers ever was,
Yeah.
sadly. So if you have any doubts about popularity of watching colleges play this game, go up against each other. That league had a way worse gameplay than what we have in Challengers, and it was more popular by a landfall. Third, I think that I still want teams in the LCS to have a very hands-on approach for developing talent, but I also want those players to be rewarded well. Like, I get that players in LCK Challengers League are not paid as much as Academy players or Challengers players we have. I get that. But also, people are paid a lot less in Korea. And I know that I've kind of gone out on a limb for orgs being like, hey, they're using these arguments that the teams cost $600,000, $800,000 a year. That's a huge investment when looking at other teams from across the globe when you're thinking about dev teams. I get that. But I also don't want to sit here and say, like, this isn't shitty. Because in America, especially if you want to live in fucking LA, you're getting paid the state minimum wage for Academy minimum. And every org by doing this is saying, we don't want to pay that. Like, we don't want to treat these adults like they're actually like getting fucking paid like adults. And that is something where I understand where they're coming from. And if you look at the global ecosystem, it's hard not to. But I can't sit here and argue that I don't want our players to be like paid less. And that is what's going to happen. And that fucking sucks. And that's why we have to have the conversation about collegiate and stuff like this. Because that is legit. Like, no matter what happens, whether it happens in summer, whether it happens in like next year, if Riot's not going to stipend these players, salaries are going to go down and they're not going to be paid well enough where I feel like it's worth it for them to actually do this.
Quick question.
And that sucks. And that's really is the issue we're facing right now.
What's the cost of living in Chicago versus LA?
Half. Legitimately half.
Move LCS to Chicago.
But
Move
we
LCS.
built all the $40 million facilities out here with the dick measuring contest, man. We can't leave our dicks here. We don't have dicks in Chicago. Same size.
Changers.
Game changers. Game changers. Game changers.
What?
Game
What's going on?
I don't know. I'm on the team with Josh tonight.
Okay.
No. It's the fucking.
That's
You're
the
leaving your dicks in LA.
what?
Game changers. Game changers.
Anyway.
Mark got
Those are
it.
the issues that we're facing. Do you guys have any other thoughts about collegiate or challengers that you guys want to go over? We have some other fun stuff to get through. I want to talk about MSI a wee bit. I know this is going to take up like the majority of the podcast, but
When are we doing the fun stuff, Manny?
when you're done with these thoughts,
Yeah, when we're done with this, and we're gonna touch on MSI, I think briefly.
yeah.
Is it? Okay. All right, well, let's get into MSI. Today was G2 versus Gen G. Woo!
I was asleep.
Okay, so you did not see the match.
I have not seen it.
Did you see the results?
No.
Okay. Do you want to know the results?
Sure.
All right.
Guess the results.
Oh yeah, guess the result.
Guess the result.
3-1 Genji.
Yeah.
I will say, everyone that was on like the train of NA got a worse draw than EU. Absolutely false.
Yeah, no, that's fucking coping.
We got a way better draw.
I looked at
We
the
got
top
BLT.
side of the bracket and I was like, holy fuck!
was
Thank
like-
God it's not there.
That is evil. Like I just
It's a Gen G T1 semi, and it's probably an LPL versus LPL semi too,
Yes.
which is hilarious. But
I can't understand
the bracket was rigged.
seeing Mad Lions as the higher seed versus versus T1 is the funniest thing.
You see the clip of Cagel reacting to the draw?
No.
It's really fucking funny. He was like kind of happy for G2 against Gen G. And honestly, I think that G2 matches up decently against Gen G. Also, the one game that Gen G lost, Peanut was playing Nidalee, so that champion's fucking fraudulent. Just wanna
No.
throw this out there.
Hey, you don't need to tell me. Like,
Mark knows he's fraudulent.
Comes the R1 Nidalee
Comes the
player.
kitten.
listen, I am as the
The R1 Nidalee player.
NA expert on Italy. I can tell you this champion is fucking fraudulent
Cat
unless you are just severely better than your opponent.
Which Peanut is not. So, but Gen G still purified these guys.
Nidalee is essentially a champion that is like, oh, you're just a win more. Like, I think me and Josh have talked about the concept of win more. Whenever you like make certain item purchases, like it doesn't really matter what you purchase. You're already in a winning state.
My hero, my Western hero, and one of my Western goats, Caps, got solo killed level 3 by Chovi's Ari
Level
as
2.
Sandra.
Level 2.
That should never happen, and I was very sad.
Yeah, it was looking like your matchup as Ari into the Cassiopeia the other night.
Thank you for bringing that back up.
Craps loaded in the day. That's what it was. He was on the server. Craps made his return.
He's still my goat. He still does ridiculous things, but that was not the best League of Legends I've seen from my boy Caps.
Well, listen, you can't have claps without craps.
It's true. We take the good and the bad.
Honestly, I can forgive
Good
Caps
Asian,
for
it's the same
that
thing.
because one, he's playing against Chovy.
Chovy fucking purified this guy. He fucking purified this guy. And part of me is like so bummed because I'm like, dude, if like Caps has always been the mid laner where you're like, I want to see this guy against every Chinese mid laner and every Korean mid laner, like from the West. He like ever since he's come up, that is the biggest praise that you can give Caps is that it's every tournament. It's I want to see Caps face Chovy. I want to see Caps play Faker.
Dude.
I want to see Caps play Xiaohu. Right?
Yeah.
That's always what it's been.
I mean, I still have fond memories of Caps on Yasuo playing against Xiaohu's Rise and the 1v1 on the bottom side of the map. That was...
He's really fucking good at he is really good at the game.
You know why
He's streaky,
Chovy...
but he's really good.
You know why Chovy solo killed Caps at level 2? Because he saw Caps bend himself into playing Nautilus mid for Yike. It's like, Caps, you're better than this.
No, man, he played that Nautilus really fucking
I mean, he played it really well, but
my
he's
man.
like, Caps, why are we playing facilitator mids when you should be the star?
Chovy has
Well, he was facilitating Chovy all series long.
Chovy has
Under the
progressively dropped ego as his career has gone on, and it's served him better because he is maybe one of the freakish finger players I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
When it comes to this game, he's just not human at times, especially when he's on Ari. And Caps got fucking. It was again the clip from Augie Guerrera. Texas head baseball coach. I'm just gonna fill my soundboard with that. By the way, I gotta redo my soundboard. I'm putting a lot of those clips in where it's you just got punched in the fucking face 55 fucking times. I'm gonna walk to you in the hospital, say like, how do you feel after you just got absolutely fucking destroyed? That's what happened to Caps when he got solo killed level 2 by Choviari. He got absolutely fucking destroyed.
It did really set the tone for that game in particular and in the series. I just want to wrap up the Nidalee thing. Nidalee needs to be reworked at this point. I've had conversations with meow. I've had conversations and I think long term there is a world where like maybe this happens, maybe it doesn't, but I think Nidalee is when she's an assassin and when she is like also happens to be a long range poke mage, she is uninteractable. She can chuck long range spears at her peak strength, not get punished for it, and then as soon as she hits a spear, she goes in and one shots you. And her takedown, you can't flash it because it's a what is classified in the game as like a special empowered auto attack where even if you flash it, it still goes through. Any movement abilities, like it always connects. The other one that also does this is Vi E, for example. So you, in that kind of state, Nidalee is unhealthy for the game.
I mean,
but when she is a bruiser, and
I was about to say, man.
Yeah,
I think Nidalee should just be a top lane champ
that
or mid bruiser.
No.
Actually, bruiser needs a little cancer.
So I think
bruiser needs a bit of a problem.
I think you can.
It is.
You have to take away.
It's like bruiser fizz.
Remember when it could stack tier in Cougar form?
It's like bruiser fizz. Bruiser fizz is always not fun to play against.
If you take away some of the scaling so that her one shot potential is not there, but if you give her utility so that her being a bruiser form and you give her skirmishing power, she could be an exciting champion.
Cut her damage in half, and every time you get your Cougar Q off, your W resets.
Well, if the Q executes,
Potentially.
Just cut the damage in half so that you go and you go pounce, then you jump out.
I would say, I agree, cut the damage in half, but then give her utility.
No, give her mobility. Like, actually, like, pump her mobility up to, like,
don't
11.
give her CC. Do not give this champion
No.
CC, man. You cannot give her CC. Her kit's way too OP to have CC.
No, you can change parts of the kits in order to compensate and give her utility. I
Like,
think it.
what
in
is
order
utility?
Give her a real human W that enables her to win. Like, her W is so fucking useless now. It's literally used to reset jungle camps so you can hop and clear faster.
Yeah.
There's no use for
I
it
mean, like,
besides that.
yeah. Her bushwhack definitely needs to be changed.
It's one of the
I'll whack
most
her bush.
useless abilities in the game.
Because right now, like, Maokai Sapling is way more useful than Nidalee Bushwhack.
Name a more useless ability in the game off the top of your head than Bushwhack, than human Nidalee W. Like, what the fuck does this ability do for you?
That's tough.
I mean, by itself or when comboed with other things?
Dismounted Kled.
What does it do for you?
Because he just doesn't have the ability.
Well, I mean, it gives you vision. Like you can.
It's there solely to reset your cougar form,
No, I mean you can.
and you can still scout with a spear.
I mean, you can scout with spear, but you cannot hold like an entryway. Like you can lay down traps.
It gives you a moment of vision, and if someone steps on it, they take 100 damage.
Yeah, but then
I
they're
can't
marked.
think of another champion with a more powerful
then they're
W
marked.
trap.
But how do you
off
like
the top
you
of my
can't
head.
ever set the mark off in a fight. It's like solely used for jungle camps. It's so fucking useless.
If you are tracking opponents and then you are waiting for them to rotate over through the trap, and you just pounce on them. Like if you don't know where they are, but you know that in a general
York
facility.
W is broken.
You get to use that like once every 5 games if you're lucky.
I think the overall point we're in agreement
Yeah.
with. I'm just getting.
What is a more useless ability? I literally can't name one.
I told you, dismounted Kled E.
Well, that doesn't count. It's not a fucking ability. You fucking,
I mean,
you fucking.
I mean, like Zyra W, but then you set it off with other abilities, right? But by
it
itself,
is so much more useful though.
Yeah, that's way more useful. I'm trying
Why?
to think of a more useless one.
Because you can decide which plant you get, and then your ult buffs up all the plants.
Okay, but that you're comboing that with other abilities.
Well, yeah, but like
Yeah, but the plants actually do damage. That's
yeah, the
difference
plants do
between that.
significant,
Okay,
and they
no,
slow
I'm just saying
on their
if
own.
you just casted W and did nothing else with it, then it is the same utility as Nidalee.
Yeah.
Listen, Cubby, I'm in agreement with the general thing.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm turning this into a
specifically
thought exercise.
in isolation. Anyway, point being, Nidalee needs to have a larger scope rework.
Purple red gun on Aphelios is actually it's actually the best argument I've heard so far for being more useless.
Anyway, the reason why we brought up Nidalee is because Peanut played it, and that was the one game that Gen G lost on because...
Yeah. Besides that, Gen G purified them.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. Nidalee is a champion where if your team does not completely buy fully into the philosophy and ensures that she stays ahead, then she doesn't get to actually play the game.
They also had 0 fucking damage in Azeri against Ken and Annie. G2 like actually draft Thanos them in that game.
Yeah. I mean, but you see what happens when G2 plays Nidalee against worse teams. And it's like, wow. I mean, Yike is popping off on Nidalee, but at the same time, Yike can probably accomplish that with any other jungler and do similar things. So Nidalee is flashy, and I love seeing Nidalee played, but I also know that this champion is also, like, yeah, it's not competitively, like, viable for the long term.
Okay. MSI, I'm staying up tonight. We have another great series. I honestly, I'm staying up for the rest of the series. I am.
Is it the C9 series?
I mean, every series.
No,
that we
it's
have
Mad
is fun.
T1.
Oh,
Yeah.
Matt T1? When does NA play?
So I get to watch EUs get Thanos by
I'm sure
Faker.
that one's gonna be close.
I'm expecting to go to bed early. Like go to bed early. I really am, but I'm gonna stay up.
Yeah.
Any other MSI thoughts? Do we have a winner in mind? I think I want to see.
Yeah, the Golden Guardians.
I want to see T1 JDG. T1 JDG is the one matchup I really want to see in this tournament. I will be mad if I don't see that matchup.
I want to see how Cloud9 does. I know their opponent is BLG, so it is probably the weakest team from LPL and Korea combined.
Dude, if Fudge puts Bin in the trash bin, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. By the way, given all the Bin hype I've been seeing.
Remember when Ben went to Worlds?
Didn't he win Worlds?
No,
Or he took
He
second?
got that penta in the finals, but
He took
lost
second. Yeah, he took second.
They got Damwand.
They got the Suning team. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see how Cloud9 does because I think Cloud9, this iteration of Cloud9 will, since TL 2019 will be the strongest North American roster we've sent internationally.
Okay.
I think I have the highest expectations for, and it's dangerous to have that because I know that everyone likes to shit on NA when we don't do well internationally.
I think G2 fists us in a best of 5, but I would like to see a G2 C9 series. That'd be fun. It'd be really fun. Like I think each team has a little bit of their own take on the game, and I think it'd be a fun matchup.
Yeah.
Even if I'm heavily favoring G2.
Yeah. I don't
Sorry,
know.
Cubby, we're contractually obligated to replay every domestic final in the next round.
Fuck.
Yeah, I have no idea what form Cloud9 are in. You know, all I can say is that Berserker's kicking ass, Blabber is in great form, Fudge is in great form, Sven proved that he was the best support this split in the league, and if M&S continues to surprise us, you know, we'll hope for the best. You know, I wish I had more to say, and therefore it's like I just want to see Cloud9's first series. Once I see Cloud9's first series, then you know I'll feel more confident about how the tournament will go.
Mark, if you were in London to give M&S a big old kiss, I think you would win.
Why specifically me?
Because it's you.
I don't
Imagine
think
all
M&S
the
knows me,
taste.
to be honest.
Imagine all the taste of ceviche on your lips.
Ceviche.
I don't know where this is coming from.
I
but-
don't know.
Anyway, let's do the fun stuff now.
Fun stuff, yeah.
Yeah, shit logos, baby. Fire it up.
Holy shit, Veteran says, what if M&S surprises you by dropping the hard R on stage?
Oh no.
Hey, I'm Rafa and I'm Ravish. We've been working out recently, so that makes us the...
Manny!
All right, we're tier listing old logos.
Oh my god, this is a great list. Okay.
Oh, I thought we were going to get, like, all the
Zeus
fucking
made it
weird
on here.
Japanese ones.
Zeus, okay, Zeus made it on. I'm so happy.
Oh,
Yep.
Josh.
Yep.
Wow.
I made a request.
Oh my God, what is that doing up there? Oh,
All right, where are we starting?
So I got these. I got a couple surprises that I'll reveal once
Oh.
we've done all the others.
OMG's new logo actually makes me want to find the nearest bridge, I'm to be honest.
This might be bottom of F tier.
It's I
Can we
wanna
start with
put
that?
this
Yeah.
in F
F
tier.
tier.
This is
Fucking
going
immediately.
straight to F tier.
Why does Cream play for this team, man?
Well, especially because look at this. Look at how good.
that one's pretty good.
They're
That's
old
Dude,
that's
why is Cream
A.
on this team, man? Why does this logo look like it was a fucking
Like, this
third
goes
grade
to-
word art project?
This goes to S tier, surely.
I mean,
Dude, the OMG logo is kind of iconic. I'm gonna be real.
All right, of
It
the
really
things
is.
in this, I'm happy to put it in S tier, but I think in any real tier, it should be like an A tier. You know?
I was gonna say B.
Yeah, but
to be
the
honest.
competition here is not strong.
The competition is not strong. So
Well,
they
let's
get an A.
let's rest it in B tier, and then we can move it up if
Alright.
the rest of
Wow.
Okay.
This is
Unironically,
a really iconic logo. I think this deserves no lower than A.
unironically, okay, I'm putting. I'd like to put zoos in B or C. Toilet paper cats.
I'm happy with.
It's
B.
so bad it's good.
B.
It is so bad. It's
Yeah. Okay. There's no way OMG is in the same tier as.
the.
the
Okay,
paper
fine.
cat.
Put OMG in A tier.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm down to move. this
Can we
around.
do the new T1? Like I'm pretty sure
I
that's like
think
the
this
best
goes
logo.
Straight to F.
What?
Okay, old.
I think it actually goes to D for disappointing.
Actually, the
It's so clean.
the old
No.
the old T1 logo is the top of S tier. For
Let's
me.
exactly.
No
Yeah.
way.
This is the
I
best.
fucking love this logo.
No
This is
way.
like Pantheon status logos.
Yes, it is.
Here's the
It's
reason why
iconic.
the new T1 logo sucks. All of the heart and the passion and the personality the old T1
Yeah.
logo had is just gone.
They got fucking Nike'd.
It's just a flat.
They got Nike.
Thing.
It looks
they
so
got Nike
clean
syndrome.
and minimalist.
It is clean.
It's
Yeah, but
so
it's too clean.
But
clean.
I'm putting the old T1 logo S tier.
I agree. Old T1 logo should be
man.
S tier.
Rafa.
Mark, help.
I think T1 should go in A tier.
The old or the
Which
new?
one?
The old one.
The old one? There's no way this
What?
is S tier. This is so iconic.
OMG
Dude,
is
it's such a
better.
great logo.
It is iconic, but like, I think we're talking about like just overall like. We're letting the rose tinted glasses and the nostalgia
Yeah, what
Yes.
if this team was
prop
bad?
it up.
Yes.
Prop it up.
Yes, that's fine.
It would still look really good.
Then
Same-
we're- then-
I'm doing the same with OMG.
Then all the nostalgia is just giving it like a boost and a buff.
That's fine.
What is wrong with the old T1?
I'm
logo?
a sentimental motherfucker. I think back fondly on the old T1.
I mean,
it's like
I am too.
NASCAR.
I'm trying to give like newer logos a fair chance because they don't have the nostalgia buff.
The old T1 is like a show us your butthole logo.
Now that being
NASCAR,
said,
baby.
I did not like the T1 rebrand as much either. I wouldn't put it as low as D, but I think like
Wow.
it could be C or B
Okay.
for me.
Unironically, I'm just gonna start throwing some other ones out there.
Where are we putting? Where are we for now at least? We'll reevaluate.
Just throw it in B.
Yeah.
I think it's A. I'm still gonna go to war for the old T1 logo.
I am also going for the war for the old.
Okay, let's take.
Can we
let's-
put the Dignitas owl in F?
Yes.
Yes.
I think we
yes,
all agree.
The
that
new
this
dig.
is
Yes, that's an
Yeah.
F.
die.
I'd also like to recommend, Good Game University for F. That is the most heinous. This,
Okay, hold.
No,
I
it's not as
agree.
bad as either of those. I think. it
bro,
goes
this
to-
looks
to
like
B.
it was literally made on.
It's iconic.
Yeah, okay.
this is a
if you're
fiber
gonna
logo.
if you're gonna
You can
argue
see
that
what they were
T1
trying.
deserves
I-
to be an S
Yeah.
because it's iconic, you cannot put GGU in F.
Yeah.
I
well, GGU is not iconic.
if I
It
went,
is iconic.
They
It's
played
insane.
one split and then rebranded to Coast.
And they got second place.
yeah, and who remembers that GGU exists? Nobody.
the OGs.
We
I
do. This
remember.
podcast remembers.
Yeah.
we remember, but no one remembers.
I think OG League fans remember Good Game University.
How many OG League fans are left? Let's be honest.
Damn.
this logo's F. I see this logo and I ask myself, was this $30 on Fiverr? That is my first thought.
Unironically,
This
that
is
is true.
so shit.
That's why I like it though. It's so
Fine,
bad.
D.
It's like toilet
Fuck
paper.
it.
Let's establish D tier with Good Game University.
Fuck it.
All right.
It's so bad it gets D tier.
Can we next do the... Oh, by the way, the caveat for this that I broke several times because I added Zeus and a couple of the other ones was that they appeared in international competition or they were a North
Yeah, Rex
American team.
Regalis. Oh.
I want to get this one out of the way. Team 1 Esports. This is probably the worst one that I found from the World Championship.
Oh,
It was,
this is
fuck is that?
brutal.
They competed in play-ins and got like 19th place in like 2020 or 2019 Worlds. I think this is an F tier logo.
That's pretty bad.
Wait, who's this?
So unremarkable.
What region are they from?
It's so boring.
I don't remember what region they were from. They were either from Southeast Asia or I think they were from Southeast Asia.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's F for sure.
Or
Team.
Latin America, I'm not sure.
Okay, Team
No, it's-
Coast. I want to put Team Coast in C or B tier because
Really?
they
I like
included
B.
no. They included their website, and I feel like
No, but they didn't do that in everyone. That was just
Okay.
the one I found.
okay.
They didn't do that.
I
like, a
think
lot.
if you're just looking at
Here.
the logo itself, just the spiral,
There.
I would put it like I would
can
put
see.
this like
Oh, I think Coast deserves B.
I think low B. I think low B for Team Coast
I think it deserves B.
All right. I'm not unhappy.
because the nostalgia buff helps it too.
Can we? Okay, I would like to propose Gamma Bears for S.
I would also. I would
Fuck
agree.
yes.
With, I would agree
Fuck
with
yes.
Gamma Bears and S.
Yes.
The first.
Yes.
This is the first. This is the first logo that I, or this is the first team, the first
logo.
summoner icon I ever had when I first
Hell
started
yeah.
playing. Like, they had the free Season 3 Worlds icons, and I chose Gamma Bears. and, like, This was
This-
actually my. This is still my like one of my email icons. And this was my Discord icon.
Nice.
Dude, this logo. This
wait,
logo fucks
Manny.
so hard. Also, this is where I think Steak played for them, and he was a legend. So
Yes, he did. But
Yes.
we can't do Gamma Bears without weighing in on Flash.
okay,
Wolves.
Flash Wolves for me definitely falls in the OMG T1 category.
Really, I think this is like a C.
It's okay. It's a worse logo, but I see it and I have very fond memories.
Yeah, nostalgia buff at least puts it in B tier.
I thought you were just arguing against nostalgia buff. Pick a
Well,
side.
because we're letting nostalgia buff potentially put T1 in S tier. So if that's gonna happen at the end of this
Okay.
tier list, Flash or like
I don't know. I was thinking
but the
Flash Wolves would be in
Wolves-
B.
The Flash Wolves logo is neither a good design or readable or particularly iconic.
I always thought it read more as bunny ears than anything else.
It really doesn't look like wolf.
I thought it was
Nothing
like
about
mo-
it says wolf.
I thott it was like monarch wings.
I know it looks like it has wings.
Yeah.
right? Like I think on a design perspective,
This
you're
goes to
conveying
C.
Wolf, it fails.
This
which
goes
is
to
why.
C.
But it is so bad, it's good. I will say that.
Okay.
Like I think C is like okay.
I'd say high C, low B is where I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we'll reevaluate all these.
Illuminati Quest goes to F.
Oh, iQuest absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
goes
that's-
down.
Illuminati Quest is fucking F tier.
That's so terrible.
The iQuest.
This is just beyond heinous.
So here's another one.
I kind
another
of want to put it
special.
in D.
Did someone's fifth grader make this logo?
So I think it's supposed to look like an unknown from Pokemon. That's what I always heard.
This is
no.
what is the reason? Why would you want to be an unknown from Pokemon?
Oh, I don't
Because
know
they're
why.
cute.
This is just beyond heinous.
So the next weird one that was neither an NA team nor went to an international competition that I had to put in here was Super Hot Crew.
Okay.
Because I noticed for the first time when I was looking at it, the logos earlier today, that Super Hot Crew's logo has an XD in it.
It does. You know, they
This
also,
is in the client. They got this. They got this shit in the client.
They also, I think they wore baseball jerseys, which was honestly kind of badass back in the
Kind
day.
of based. I feel like Super Hot Crew has to be
You're on
exactly
Cupcakes,
one
right?
tier
I'm
below
gonna send you one more
A
logo.
tier.
You have to put this in.
Where?
Or exactly one tier below T1.
not it? What
The old T1.
See,
I think it
Well,
has
the-
to be C.
The old T1.
I feel terrible putting Team Coast above this logo. I do.
Really? Why do you hate the Team Coast logo so much? It's
I don't
iconic
hate
as
it.
far as I'm concerned.
I don't hate it, but like that logo is cooler. It has an XD in there.
Oh,
This is the guy that was trying to put
Okay, it's C
GG and
tier.
F.
It's C tier.
Super hot.
It's C tier.
Clip art.
It's C tier.
Yeah.
Best way. It's
I'm gonna
great.
give my last hot take of the night.
Yeah.
Okay.
The old GG logo is S tier. The colors,
The old one?
I think the
I
old
think the
one
old
is
one is-
so fucking cool. Actually,
B tier.
given what the Warriors logo was at that time too, I actually fucking love this logo.
Team Wario. They got the W.
Oh.
the mustache,
All right,
bro.
that definitely. Like for me, this has to be below OMG and T1, but on my list, both those are S tier.
I think both.
So
those are
therefore-
S tier too, but I would put this in B tier because it's not particularly memorable.
All right, fine, that's fine. I actually did love this logo. I didn't want them to change it. I thought the colors were
I
badass
agree.
too.
Can we agree? Should we put the new Golden Guardians logo in D tier?
D tier. I
No, it's
like
C.
the new Golden Guardians
I
logo
actually-
a lot.
It's clean, but all they do is post a night, and it pisses me
clean
off.
In the
Yeah, they
same
don't
way,
use
the
it.
new T1 logo is clean. It's clean, but it's soulless.
Hey, you know what does have soul? We can talk about this real quick. Old Dig, Old EG, both
Old Dig, I think
Both
goes-
up there.
I think.
They're both like
Okay.
Well, this is the new Dig logo, which I think
True.
is actually a good example
Yes.
of them
Modernizing.
modernizing an older logo.
Oh wait, we gotta
Honestly,
we gotta pull the old sperm out.
I would put this dig at least A tier,
I would,
if not S tier.
A tier.
Yeah, I'm fine with A.
I'm
I think
happy
A is
with A.
good.
I think it might end up in S by the end because I think it's very good.
Shit.
I also am a big fan of the new EG logo.
I
The new one?
hate
Yeah.
the new EG logo with passion. Why does it have horns?
In order to make it not a circle.
I guess, but they could have kept the circle.
Based.
I mean the old one, I mean it's got a lot of personality, but at the same time it has like none.
Did you get the image I sent you, Manny?
Yeah.
Based. Nice.
I would be very sad if the old EG logo ends up above the new EG logo.
What do you guys think of the old EG logo?
Uh,
I
It's
think
like a B.
I think it's better. We have a late entry from Mark. Oh, you sent me a fake PNG, you bastard. Lion Gaming is going to hell for that one. I'm sorry, Mark.
wait. I'm sorry. I did.
You sent me a JPEG with a fake PNG background that
Bro.
I looked at.
Bro. Cubby production
Mark.
special.
All right, where are we putting EG?
Okay, hold on. Old or the new NRG logo looks like an oil company. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah, they look like a
so this is another
PMC.
thing. I think this goes to F tier
it's really bad.
because we saw something before that
It was much better.
much better. It's not great, but it's a lot better than this. And then also you have a name like Energy Esports, right? You could go, there are so many creative ways you could go with that logo, but instead you went with black and white and like just this random ass like gamer font from like 2000.
I'm gonna be honest,
I-
Manny. This looks like something that a PMC would use, like Blackwater.
I was about to say, I can't tell if they're drilling for oil or they're mining crypto.
Yeah, that's
And
actually a fair one.
I think it lands in somewhere in the middle of both, and therefore it's F.
I think it's F because there's so many good ways you could do a logo for a team like Energy Esports, right?
Yeah.
Like you could go with electricity. You could do what they have here, which is like some sort of weird cyclone thing.
Yeah, I thought this one was okay.
I thought it was all right. I mean,
like
I think it's like
B or C.
I think it's like C, but it's way better than what they have now.
Agree.
Yeah.
I like the pink too. The pink was fucking cool
It's a
on
nice
stage.
pink.
Pink and black.
Oh yeah, no, it was
That was a
legit.
cool color
Well,
scheme.
hang on it. There aren't enough esports teams that are black and white. All right, we needed one more.
Fuck.
What color scheme is the new Energy gonna be?
I think it's still gonna have some pink in there actually.
Mark, you sent me another fucking JPEG.
Wait, did I?
Yes, it's a
Brother
JPEG.
Mark.
This one just has a solid white background.
Wait, no. Look,
It came to me as a JPEG.
check again.
You probably have to open it in the internet and
No, I am opening it in the internet. It
Oh,
comes
get
up
shit
as a
on, Mark.
JPEG.
You know what? I'm gonna send you the fucking hyperlink, and then you can get
Yeah.
it from there.
Do it.
My bad.
All right. What else? We still haven't settled this EG debate. Actually, I have another one before we do that.
Okay.
So the reason I said D tier was disappointing is because of this logo. CFO Flying Oyster. When I heard last split
that we had a team at Worlds that was called fucking Flying Oysters. I was so excited and so over the moon for their logo. And then they just have the worst like shield logo.
It's a
imaginable.
UFO. It looks like a UFO with a shield in the front.
It's a shield logo.
It's like a stealth bomber, and they're called the Flying Oysters.
Yeah. I think this
that's
is D.
That's appropriate.
It's not egregious, but it's not any good either.
Okay, what about Elvis Knox? I feel like Elvis Knox also has to be D.
So I thought this was going to be a divisive one because I think their logo is very iconic, but I think it really sucks.
It's so fucking terrible. Like, is it Rangar or is it like birds?
I mean, it's definitely a cat.
It's definitely a cat, 100%.
Is this shit supposed to be Rangar?
Wait, how do you see birds here?
Yeah, where's
I don't know, man.
Wait, what part of this, part of this logo looks like birds?
I don't know, man. This logo it looks like, bird eyes. This logo sucks.
Oh, I guess. I mean, I think it's supposed to imply there's a cat.
I put it C tier.
This logo fucking sucks. Put a D.
I'm in C.
We don't have enough D tier stuff yet, though.
Alright.
It's a high D.
Wait, hold on. Manny, I sent one to the cubby cord.
You like high D and not low D?
He just likes D.
Just likes that hard D.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Is it a hard D tier?
I sent one of the most important
Oh,
logos
yes.
of all time.
Okay, this is an important logo. Let's see. I'm gonna pull this one in first, and then I'm gonna do Rafa's.
Oh,
yeah!
No.
It's the fucking look. Bono.
Oh no.
Bum, 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 bum. It's this narwhal. Axe.
Yeah.
What region was this team?
This is LJL. Okay, the only
C.
reason to ever
C.
root for Axes ever, because they were really bad for all their history. The only reason I was ever a fan of Axes was one, this logo, and two, they were the only team in Japan to have an entirely Japanese roster.
It has to be Axes. I mean, it has
C.
to be C. I think because it's so.
I've never
it's
seen
so
this.
bad. It's good.
Yeah, I actually like this a lot.
I like it. Like I like it, but it's not good.
It's not
bad,
good.
but it's awesome.
It's really fucking cool, but also
I love how the tail is like just nebulous enough to potentially be eyebrows.
That's what I thought, man.
all right. We got the.
We got Leon Gaming.
What do you guys think? I think this is a C.
Yeah.
I think
C, low B.
It's fairly unremarkable.
I mean,
Did you just put the Sonic and Serenok played for him?
no. I mean, Serenok played for their academy team, but I put this on because this was the first time I'd ever seen an LLA team, or back then it was Latin League North, play internationally.
Yeah, they were
It was the
not
first time I'd
great.
ever played. I saw like Latin American region play internationally. It was 2016. And that was when the first time I saw Odie play. And he played against Diamond Prox, and he smurfed on his pathing against Diamond. Of course, this is past Diamond's prime as a jungler, but like, it was cool to see. Because Odie picked Kha'Zix, he did red buff, and he walked all the way around his bottom side jungle because they warded his Raptors, and then he late invaded Diamond at his own Raptors and shit on him. It was one of the best
Okay.
games.
I'm just gonna make a vote right now. I want to move OMG T1 and Dig all up to S tier.
Hang on. We still got some unsettled.
I know. I want to move all those up to S tier. I'm gonna put some A tier shit in there.
I actually do agree. We should move some of these to S tier. I think that these are all.
I am
We can
definitely
keep
in favor
going
of
to
Dig
A tier.
going to S. I'm down.
Dig
with
to S
that.
for sure.
Dig to S.
I think T1 has to go. SKT has to go. There is no more iconic logo in this entire game than.
But it's
SKT.
not good.
It is good.
It's not
It
good.
is.
It was the way they used it was good. I like how they used it on their jerseys and jackets.
Yeah. They
Like the old
implemented it
T1
well.
jacket was so fucking badass.
I did like their jackets.
I did like the jacket too.
The jackets were so badass.
I think Cubby might win with the merch point.
I will also vote to move
Old SKT.
new T1 up a tier as a bargaining chip to move old T1.
What do you think,
up a tier.
Josh? Do we agree?
All right. We can shake
Wheeling
on
and
it.
dealing, baby.
But we still have more things.
All right. Let's do. Okay, we need to do the.
EG.
Yeah, the egg, and gig.
I
don't
like
think
the
either of these
egg.
logos are good.
I like the egg.
That's my hot take. I don't like either one.
For the EG?
I like the old
Yeah.
one better.
I agree. I like the
I
I
old
don't
like
know
the
why
new
they
one
changed
better.
the old one.
It's
think?
that one's really hard to print, honestly.
Yeah, but it was cool. Like the old like navy blue like purple jerseys were cool.
I mean, would you like this logo better if it was turned forward?
No, I kind of like how it's offset, honestly. So I think it looks like, I don't know, it looks like a coin to me in a way. It's kind of cool.
I mean,
It's different.
I don't mind that. I just think the thing is just like something that makes a logo good is that a 5-year-old can draw it to near perfection, and with like colored markers. And you have so many gradients in this EG logo that's
That's
not
fair.
possible.
That's fair.
That's fair. That's
I think-
the style of the time though. It's like bevel
Yeah.
3D and like it's very like 2000 early 2000s.
This was like before everyone started like making logos so like they could be animated. Because like now everyone makes logos, so it's like, all right, we're gonna animate it and use it like this and all of our
Yeah, I mean, like you can tell that newer logos have to be like vector art inspired, so that it's easier to.
You can animate it.
Do we want to put it in B?
I'm fine with B. I don't feel too strongly about it. I just liked it.
What do
Yeah.
you think about the new one? Does that also go in B?
I'll be sad if it's lower.
It's vector art qualified for sure.
Yeah.
Do we also
Yeah,
put that
both
Fuck
are,
it.
both are B.
All right,
I just-
G-Rex is
both
A.
mid?
I fucking love G-Rex, that logo.
I
G-Rex
will
is A.
say G-Rex is
This logo is fucking
the
awesome.
funniest fucking logo because it has so many implications about how they came up with the name, right? Because it could be they're like, guys, I could just imagine they were really high when they came up with this logo because they're like, guys, what if we took T-Rex and we put a G in front of it? Or they were really high and they're like, guys,
Gamer
what if we were Gamer Rex? Exactly. The G stands for gamer. I think this one's really funny. What about Rex? What about this logo?
Okay, I just
What
want
about the
to say
logo
that
that copied
G-Rex is the
G-Rex?
only like logo on here that I think violates that principle of like a 5-year-old could draw it,
But it's
because it's
fuck-
so awesome.
But it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, like
fucking awesome.
there's no other professional esports team that had a dinosaur in their logo. At this,
Except
I mean, Rex Regalis never made it to international competition.
Yeah, where are we putting Rex Regalis on here? This is kind of a
I don't hate your logo, Mark. I don't. There's a lot to it, and I do think a fiber artist could draw it, but definitely not as
I'm
deep as
pretty
Good
sure
Game
we
University.
ripped it from something.
Not as well as Good Game University.
Yeah, I have no
Throw it in
idea.
C.
So the funny thing is that this was a Fiverr artist commission.
go.
And
At least 50.
I have one more for S tier.
I lit. Oh, Moscow
Has
5.
to go to S tier.
That's S tier. That is what I'm talking about.
That's a good logo.
That's
Go to this, go
that
to
is
S.
S tier right there.
You see, okay, someone in the chat threw this out. I'll scroll up to see who it was, but
I
this
think it was
is
Sean.
this is fucking S tier through and through.
That's S tier.
This is 100% S tier.
Holy shit.
The way it's like done with like all like the lines too, and like, oh, this is actually a really fucking good logo.
All right, so we have two more in this normal category. We have
GGB, fuck that. And then honestly, I kind of like Team Gravitas.
Dude, no, it's Gravity.
Yeah, Gravity.
Gravity, my bad.
Gaming. There's a story behind this Gravity one. Do you know what
Gravitas
that
is
story
awesome.
No.
The
So
logo?
The story behind the Gravity Gaming logo is that when this was Curse Academy when they qualified to LCS with like Bunny Fufu and Cop and St. Vicious and that team.
Haunser.
Yeah, it haunts
And
me.
Hanser, yes. And when they arrived, they said basically like their new ownership that bought out the spot because Curse couldn't have two teams was like, we're doing a logo design contest. And this was the winner of the logo design contest, but they never paid the guy that did it.
Oh.
Were you the guy that made it?
No.
All right, that's cool.
But I think it's pretty good. I think
I like it.
I think it should be A tier.
The colors were cool.
I think it should be A tier.
someone did an edit of this where it looks like a penis. Where they put three of these together and like I can never unsee it. I was
Jesus.
really looking for the photo earlier today, but I couldn't find it.
I want to move this down a tier now.
No. Go to A tier. This, legitimately, no other team had a fucking rocket ship. That's cool.
So all I need to do is come up with something that no other team has done. Whenever
other
I have a
team had a
team, it's gonna have a
narwhal.
praying mantis.
No other team had a narwhal. Axis had a narwhal.
I mean, like, I would say, like, maybe in hindsight, maybe it could be high B tier because the thing that does make this a little clunky is the
colors are a little weird.
yeah, the colors are a little weird, and this whole circle around it is like,
It's like a Weird
is this supposed to
shuriken.
be a planet? Is that what I'm looking at?
no, it's
Captain
supposed to be
Planet.
a spaceship, I think, just going
A hole?
a butthole.
You know what this is, Manny? This is Cubby's butthole after Taco Bell. Fully
No, man.
thrusters ejecting.
Oh man, this is the put a nuke up my pussy logo.
All right, what are we doing with Golden Guardians B?
I like A.
A?
I like A.
I hate this logo.
I love this logo.
I really don't like this logo. I like
It's
the old
a
one much better.
sword, bro. There's nothing interesting about it.
Swords are.
I do think that the words Golden Guardians make it worse.
Yeah. I think if it's just the logo by itself,
Also,
I
it's
could be convinced.
so hard to put this on our broadcast graphics for LCS.
Is
Why?
it really?
Biased because it doesn't have any weight. It's really hard to see on a background.
It's too basic, man. This is like too minimalistic.
I would agree it's too minimalistic.
For me, this is too minimalistic, and I don't like how you have to spell out your team in the logos. I will say,
I mean,
He
you don't-
says after putting Gamma
No.
Bears and T1 and S.
Gamma Bears are those logos are iconic, man.
but like on a jersey, it doesn't have Golden Guardians there. It just has
Yeah.
the sword. So just don't pretend the sword isn't there.
It's a sword and a shield. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a butthole.
put a sword in my butthole. We're gonna put that.
Show us your butthole.
All right, guys. So
Show us your butthole. Joe
we can
Biden.
find this in a minute, but before that, I have some surprise final candidates. for you to
Oh
consider.
no.
Oh baby.
So Cubby told me that actually I gotta explain. So Cubby told me that the criteria was they had to have played in NA or they had to have played at an international competition. When I heard that last part, international competition, I remembered. Oh no. There are some pretty heinous logos from season 1 and season 2, all right?
Oh boy.
So I have a couple contenders to show you. I have 4 more candidates for this list. The first one, hailing from IPL3, is a picture of a goose. Now, we're going to look through all of these and then add the tier list after. I want to do these in order.
Wait, this is the
I
logo?
want to get this was the logo. This team had, I believe, I think it was Balls and Smithy on it. They
Nice.
played in IPL 3. And I also want to say as well, this is a picture of a goose because you can see the edge of the wall on the outsides. So someone took a picture of a goose hanging on a wall and made it their logo.
Kelsey says, I was a picture of a goose fan.
We need
unironically.
a Z tier. We need something above S for a picture of a goose.
A picture of a goose goes
is the
on
best
top.
logo.
But we can talk about where they all rank after, how they stack up after you guys.
Wait, so their
see all-
team
is on the
name
top
was
of my
a
list.
picture of a goose?
The name
Yeah.
is a picture of a goose.
This is on the top of my list.
The second surprise, the next 2 come from IPL 5.
Oh, that's a
Some
good
say
one.
the greatest tournament ever played.
I still say
and
this.
I think they're the greatest tournament ever played. It was the greatest tournament ever played because they had a team called Meat Playground.
Oh, yeah.
This logo is
yeah.
crunchy. It's
Yes.
not good.
Yes, they did.
But
Meat
the
Playground was
quality
a
of it
team.
is not good, but it is something.
It is something.
It is something to behold. When you talk about unique logos, this may be the uniquest of them all.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
Mark.
it's a
nobody
sentient
else
piece of
has a sentient piece of meat as their logo.
Bones sticking out and everything. And they
Dude.
even have like Tony Hawk American Wasteland text font here. Which
I
is
hope that when
crazy.
this team lost in IPL 5, the enemy team was like, "We just beat your meat on the playground." Suck that meat, playground.
I like how edgy it is too. Like,
Yeah,
the
no,
font
like,
and
the-
like the meat has
The
scars.
scar on the
This
eye.
is really heinous.
this
That meat has seen some things.
this logo feels like
Got beat a lot.
out of in the wrong decade because IPL 5 was what 2012.
Yeah.
So this should have been like 2002 with all the pop
This-
punk bands. Like this looks like a pop punk logo.
This feels like if I was like a dancing, group, I'd like go compete like other cities known as like Meat Playground. I don't
What
know why I
kind of
have, like-
dance group are you?
I
What?
don't know why.
In this alternate universe, Matt's a b-boy.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like a b-boy group, but like no, this to me is like something you would find on the bottom of a deck of a skateboard. Like if you're going to American Wasteland.
So we have 2 more. The second to last one, also hailing from IPL 5. We're going from 2002 pop punk to your 6th grade art classroom. It's Black Bean.
This one might be the worst one that I
Oh
found.
my god.
Cute.
This looks like someone's fan art of a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah.
It says "Watch your back" on the logo.
Oh my
cute.
god.
This is one of the logos of all time.
How was this
This
Dude.
was a team played in IPL5. This logo.
a picture of a goose is Z tier? This is not.
This one
This is
one-
not.
might be the worst.
Holy shit, this is terrible.
This might be
I love him.
bottom of.
Can we
F tier.
adopt him?
Yeah.
I mean, I love it.
Like-
I do have one more offering for you.
That said, it's terrible, but I do want to
One
adopt
more
him.
offering.
Hiring. Okay, so from I Am Cologne comes now that Black Bee one is pretty bad. This one, you can only see this logo for the first time once. They played an I Am Cologne in 2012. Please join me in welcoming the Frag Executors.
Since 1997.
Oh my God!
What the fuck?
It is a sight to behold.
Why is there a Cartoon Network character with fire behind him?
I don't know. I like the loose wires coming out of his headset as well on the right side.
Yeah, dude, he just had to execute someone.
He looks like he's got like the dentures.
Mom, Bashroom, Bashroom.
All right, these were terribly heinous.
So these are pretty heinous. But the question is, are they good heinous or are they bad heinous?
A picture of a goose makes me respect Xmithy so much more.
So we have four more. Or sorry, it's these four. Where are we gonna put them?
A picture of a goose has to be S tier.
Black Bean, I think, has to be bottom.
It's so bad. I cannot.
Goose is like Z tier.
Yes.
It's like its own thing.
Also, Meat Playground, we don't have room in F tier.
I think Meat
Hot
Playground
take?
goes in A. That's my hot take.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. Hang on. Hot take here, Manny. I think instead of F tier, both Black Bean and FlyQuest should go to D tier because even
No,
though they're
iQuest-
No way that
iQuest-
even though hang on, they're really bad, but it's kind of cute. It's kind of adorable.
Look. I will never support iQuest going to D, but I could go with Dignitas.
It has to be F. iQuest has to be F.
can't be. There's no
Okay,
way.
fine. You should put Black Bean D because it is adorable. Even if it's
But it is the
Terrible.
worst one. I think
It's
from a quality
so
standpoint,
terrible.
I think it's the worst one I've ever seen.
but if you
it looks like something I would draw
Okay,
on a napkin at lunch. in
I feel
middle
like
school.
I feel like the Dig Owl must be in D tier.
You think so?
It has a slight advantage over everything else in the group, and
guess so.
we must make room for frag executors and Meat Playground. And
So I think I will say the Frag Executors out of all these logos,
so bad.
one of the higher res ones, which I thought was really funny because a lot of these are really crunchy, like Meat Playground, for example, very crunchy. Frag Executors, I think, has to go at the bottom because even though it's not the worst executed, it is the most visually offensive. It burns my eyes to look at it. I see it, and like I can feel the seconds ticking away from my life. Like I'm like, oh my god! Every second I look at this, I'm a second closer to death.
I mean, that really like I'm looking at the OMG logo in F tier right now, and I'm looking at the other one in A tier, and I'm like actually about to clench my fists. Like I'm that frustrated.
Well, wait, we haven't decided where Meat Playground goes before we.
Oh, it's
What? No, Meat Playground. It's good. It's good.
it should
It's
go.
stupid, but it's well done.
I legitimately think Beat Playground is like a C.
Yes.
I think it goes.
Yes.
I like Meat Playground.
I'm done. Leave it there. It's so fucking terrible. That
It is not terrible.
that thing is at the
It's
bottom
not
of F.
terrible. It's just in the
well done.
wrong industry.
It's so bad. It's good.
It's
Much like Axes and Flash Wolves and Super Hot Crew.
I feel like Meat Playground could be a modern day Splatoon team, and it might be cool.
I love Meat Playground.
I still want to adopt the black.
Okay, you know what? I want to put Axis in the Goose tier too. Part of me does.
yeah.
Part of me really
No,
does.
the goose tier is like so beyond. Like, it's beyond because it's not putting in any effort.
It's
and yet
so
it's iconic.
holistic.
The Axis one is like actually a really impressive way to do a shit logo. It's like iconic. But someone put a lot of time and effort into this Axis logo.
It is the best bad logo.
But picture of a goose. So good. Someone whipped out an iPhone and took a photo of a picture of a goose hanging on a wall.
I just submitted it.
And they couldn't even bother to crop out the edges of the white wall on either side.
It's so good.
So we have goose tier at the top, and we have S tier. I feel like we have too much in B and C, and we have to move some stuff up and down.
This is almost like
Move Super Hot Crew down. It's. I can't look at it.
It's
I really can't
I
look
will
at
say
it.
it's impossible to read.
Like-
Super Hot Crew is impossible.
I
like-
really can't look at it.
for me, Picture of a Goose is on the same level of transcendency as Tony Top.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, just slap this face on. Every time we see a broadcast game where they start and you just see Tony's face in the sky.
That one's really funny, but the thing is, I feel like more effort went into that because Tony Top had to go into the photo studio and someone had to sit there, frame it up, and take that photo and upload it to the internet. The goose one is like so early esports because they're like, yo, I have a picture of a goose on my thing and I'm going to use it for our thing and we're going to go compete in this international competition. So I think there is,
SHC has to go down.
Moving SHC down.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I think if we're making C so bad it's good tier, Zeus has to move down.
Yeah, it really
Alright.
does. But I do like the old energy logo. I do like the
it's
old.
a well-made toilet paper roll and cat.
I mean, yeah, but
It's the worst
It is
good
a
logo.
meme, though.
I do like old energy. I feel like I'll put that in B.
I think that deserves to move.
I feel like it fits the rest of the logos in B.
yeah.
Is anything else A tier though? Because if I'm going to move any logos from there up to A tier, it probably is the old energy one. I actually really like that logo.
I was surprised we put it in C in the first place.
I really like
I
that
was
logo.
arguing for low A or high B.
I love the hot pink. It's
I can be
unique.
convinced to move it up. I think it's especially relative to the current energy.
Yeah, especially relative to fucking Blackwater, the esports
All
company.
right, we're sending it. We're moving it up.
I will still iconically vote for Meat Playground to be moved as far down the list as possible.
So wait, why do you hate Meat Playground so
It's
much? Why do you
horrendous.
articulate it? What do you mean?
It's
No, it's
just-
horrendous, but it's well done.
It's
Why?
the wrong industry. That's
Why?
the only problem with it.
Why do I see 3 bones and then a piece of meat?
Well, you see, you do see like
It's a sentient
hint
piece of
the
meat.
voice
It's a sentient piece of meat.
What more do you need to know?
Why is it like? Why do I like? Why is there a playground?
Look, Cubby. All I need you to know is that this was originally used for a brothel.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Is that true?
Also, I would like to move the new. I would like to move the new OMG logo to the bottom of F tier. It still is the worst thing I'm looking
I
at.
don't think it beats Frag Executor.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
What
But
is top of F tier?
NRG.
Are
We can't be too
sorting
mean.
within tiers?
They're just here because it's an oil
I
company.
mean, at this point, I think we have to at some point.
Okay, that's fine.
I can't put it. It's just
it's
not offensive. Well, actually, I guess
no.
Black-
It is offensive.
I guess it is. In
It's
the
so
context
offensive.
Of the old OMG logo, it's offensive.
I'm the most irrationally angry about that logo. Like we have so many logos on this sheet, and I am the most irrationally angry about OMG, the new one.
All right, we can move Meat Playground to D tier.
No.
Let me move. Actually, no. Let's
Bargaining chip.
Let's keep it. Let's keep it in C tier.
Okay, that's fine. You can piss me
It's
off.
so bad, it's good.
I want to the Axis logo. I want to move up just to fucking make a joke of B tier.
I guess, but isn't C tier our like
Yeah, kind
so
of.
bad
Yeah,
it's good tier?
yeah. I just put Golden Guardians, the new one, at the top of B to make Josh happy, and then we're cool.
Is this our final list? It's
Yeah,
kind of
this is
funny
fine.
When I look at this though, and I think about not what are good or bad logos, but what are my favorite logos.
Dude, a picture of a goose is legendary.
Look,
I
I'm just
I
saying, if
feel
this
like
was
I
my
would
favorite
choose-
logos, it'd be very different than this.
I feel like I
Yeah.
would choose all of the C tier logos over the B tier logos.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because a lot of the B tier ones, it's like, okay, it's okay, but it's like unremarkable. You know what I mean?
Dude, I think Rafa's
I
just...
kind of think we should swap all of B and C tier. Like every single one.
Personally, I think that Rafa's just thrilled to be in between Lion Gaming and Meat Playground.
I mean, look, I actually, how do you guys feel about moving all of
Just
the
swapping
C tiers
them?
to swapping B and C tiers?
Fuck it, we ball. Fuck it.
Think about like, because it's like, who is really thinking about this old EG logo in this time? As to where like things like the Flash Wolves, Zeus, Axes, Meat Playground, they stay
You know
in
what?
our minds.
You know what?
Forever.
Flip the tiers, and then everyone that didn't listen to this podcast will be just like, what the fuck do they have against us? And then we'll know who the true fans are.
Manny, it's 2 more submissions.
What the fuck?
Submission? What?
Oh,
No, dude, we're already at the
It's
longest.
10.
We're already at the longest episode
I'm
ever.
gonna judge.
We didn't talk about fucking shit
I'm gonna
today.
judge the submissions and see if I want to do them.
This is the
You
longest.
probably won't want to do the first one, but you should put in the second
This is the longest episode ever, and we have yet to do most only thing of the week.
Are we gonna do that?
I was
this
in
week?
Phoenix.
Yeah, we can talk. Yeah, you can talk about that a little bit.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I forgot what was in B tier.
We'll keep it.
I want to finish editing.
Just keep going.
Uh,
Yeah,
one. Okay. Yeah, Rex, Meat, Leon.
all those are up. All those get moved up.
Yeah.
And then the
Does
rest.
Leon deserve to be in B?
No, I actually think that
It
go
should
down.
stay in C tier.
It stays with the C.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty forgettable.
It's that bad.
No, I mean
It's just unremarkable.
yeah, but it's a cool lion.
My
He
wife.
also kind of thinks that Rex.
To be fair,
C
my life has been unremarkable. So
Ooh.
down. Most LA thing of the week. While I ready this up, we
I went to Phoenix and was behind a burning bus for an hour and a half.
and it felt like LA.
all right. This is our final. Does this look good for our final?
Yeah, that's final.
You should put in the second one. I'm telling you.
Oh, do I?
Oh god.
Yeah, not the first one. The second.
How worth is it?
It is.
Manny
It's
just
actually-
I
does.
don't know which one was the first one. Does the first one start with A?
No.
Okay. Okay, we can do one more.
Yeah.
Is it really that worth? I'm about to flame Rafa here.
No, it's
Oh, Winter
Fox.
Fox.
Yeah. This is actually a
Oh,
really cool logo.
Put the shit in B. Whatever.
I think it goes to.
I'm
B.
done with it. Yeah.
That's it.
Good ad.
That's the end. That's our. It's a
good logo. It was a good logo, yeah.
Old in parentheses because some of these are current logos too, but we had to compare them.
Anyone that didn't watch the episode and calls us out for C tier and B tier, they're frauds.
Well, anyone that doesn't watch the episode is not going to understand what the fuck is going on with like some of these logos. Like for instance,
A picture of a goose.
Brag instigators.
Picture of a goose.
Oh shit. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Back.
Most LA thing of the week. Josh, you went
I was in Phoenix
and
and we were behind a burning bus and we were trying to figure out what the fire was. And Steve said he thought it was an exploded car. And he was right.
Wow. Just like in 21 Jump Street.
Kangas is a legend. Okay. Mark and I were on our own this weekend because Josh was out.
Woohoo.
And we both walked out of our apartment without our keys. We looked at each other. We shat our pants. And then I checked the door and it was still open. So we survived.
Yeah.
And that's the most LA thing of the week.
That could have
You
been
did what?
really bad.
We each walked out of the apartment without our keys.
Yeah.
And Mark, I was like, hey, Mark, you have the keys? And he's like, no, you always grab your keys. And to be fair to Mark, that was probably the one time I've ever walked out of the apartment without the keys.
Yeah.
We're going to grab some Indian food. And we each shat our pants when we looked at each other. And Mark was like, I'm
Yeah,
never going
we-
to forget the look in your face.
Yeah. No, like we both looked at each other for like 30 seconds before we checked out the door because we were just like, oh no. Oh no.
Like, Josh is gone.
Yeah, Josh is gone.
fucked.
We and the person that fixed the dishwasher wasn't gonna be here until Monday, and this happened on Saturday.
Nice.
So we were just like, oh no, we're so fucked. We're so fucked. We're gonna be locked out. But then Cubby just walks up to the door, pushes it, and it opens, and
And I
it's
shat my pants.
Oh,
I shat my pants.
You guys do know you are allowed to call the landlord to open our door, right?
Yeah, we would have known that. Because we would have pinged you, what the fuck do we do? And you would have said that.
Then they would have had to explain the smell.
I would have been in the middle of a fucking game and be like, why the fuck are these dinguses called?
These Pringuses. So mine was short. I don't know. What else did I do? Oh, shit. I ended up going to a free concert at a house party. and I walked into the underground LA dance community.
Swag.
And I didn't dance, and I didn't know what I was doing there. There were a couple music producers there. I was totally out of place. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah,
I'm gonna say my most LA thing is it was just really cool. I mean, all of us were kind of involved. We went and saw a live band that it was unexpected, and it was really fucking sick. So
That was a great night.
Our friend Nick Garcy has a band he does with his girlfriend Ruby. I think it's like Ruby and the Lanes. And we were trying to see them, but they played earlier than we expected. So
Kangas was running late.
we blame Kangas.
Get fucked on
When you
Kangas.
say running late, we missed them entirely.
Yes, we missed them entirely. But then we showed up, and it was the end of another band's like shift or set, and they were all right. I was like, okay, yeah, like local bands, like this is kind of the quality of it. And then this all girl group of 4, drummer, bassist, guitarist, and lead singer / keyboardist, comes up, and they start playing, and it is like a completely different vibe. Like,
She had a legitimately good voice.
yes,
Like a powerful, like raspy, kind of sexy, like voice. I was a big fan.
it was definitely sexy.
She was really good.
She
Yeah.
was really fucking good.
And the funny thing is that we looked at their music afterwards, and I feel bad because I feel like the studio fucked their album or like the songs they had because like they compressed the shit out of her voice.
The band name
Hoity
is called Hoity Toity. If you want to
Yeah.
solo on this, Manny.
But their the lead singer was like fucking killing live. Like they got after it.
Exposure's not working.
Oh, you know what?
Kangas got up on
I was
stage
gonna
and
say you're ignoring the best part of this, which is this.
yeah, Kangas got up on stage. Yeah, this is Kangas. And of course, Kangas is the biggest fucking ham that we all know. So he hit the cowbell like it was no one's business
Hell yeah!
and stole the show. Look at this. Look at this ham.
What a lad.
What a lad.
And then
But
yeah,
this
we
this
went to
band
a fun
was,
bar after too.
Yeah, this band legitimately was amazing live, and it's a shame that the studio versions of the songs are like.
Dude, her voice was fucking good. Like,
Yeah,
I was
like,
we all
now-
looked at each other and we're like, whoa, this like Manny and I were like, dude, they're good. Like,
For anyone that listens to the studio versions that has not heard them live, you're not going to dislike it. I think they're still like good, but then when you see them live, you're like, holy shit, they are so killer live. And in some ways, I think that's nice for people who have never seen them live before. Now, if you go listen to their music and you give them a shot at their live shows, then it's something to look forward to. I'd rather be a group that people are more excited to see about playing live than you listen to their studio stuff and you go see them play live and you're like, oh, they sounded like shit, which I think is something that happens a lot in modern music, where the studios and being in the studio room and the recordings, so it happens a lot in hip hop music too, where like the modern studio recordings are just way better, inherently better than what the quality of like pop artists or some hip hop artists sound like live. They just
we had
so-
fun, man. It was really fun.
yeah. And I think it also can happen in bands too, especially if you are pushing your vocal cords and you have like an insanely high range. There's a lot of rock bands that cannot replicate that live because their vocalist like strains his voice to hit super high notes. But the fact that this singer and this band sounded amazing live, and their studio version's like, oh, this sounds like just a restrained power version of it. It's still cool to listen to, but definitely go see them live. Hoity Toity. HOITY TOITY.
Yep.
Yeah, we actually did some underground LA shit and we
Yeah.
had fun. So we didn't shit on LA this week. So,
LA shit on me.
don't judge a book by
yes.
its cover, guys. We didn't shit on LA with the most LA thing of the week. Let's fucking go. But Manny, you're the producer. How did LA shit on you this week?
Well, we heard about it last week. It was the Lime scooter incident.
Yeah.
I'm still dealing with the repercussions of that this week.
Nice.
But I'm okay now.
Yeah.
Can the Mexican bowling shirt not solve that problem for you?
Mexican bowling shirt. Mexican bowling shirt could solve a lot of problems.
I'm happy for you. That's good. It was a nice shirt.
It is a nice.
And just like that, we just came full circle. All
Fuck
right.
you, Kangas.
This is and yeah, we did come full circle. All right, this is the longest episode we've ever done, and it's all because we went on a big tangent about collegiate challengers, and also we rated a bunch of logos, which is exactly what I was hoping this podcast would be when it started.
Yeah.
Nice.
By the way, did NACL come out with a decision yet? Or
Nope, tomorrow.
Oh my.
Oh, hold on. This is what it is. Tomorrow for sure. From SpongeBob. We need some good SpongeBob references.
Yeah. All right. Well, if that takes care and wraps up that, any last departing words from our producer Manfred?
Thanks, Manny, for doing some heavy lifting tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
That was fun.
Manfred.
That was
Any
fun.
last words? Scrumptious. I was just gonna say a word.
Ooh.
Scrumptious.
We got Main Chick tonight, which you can see next to Josh.
That was what I meant.
If anyone's going to sponsor us, we actually want it to be Main Chick.
Not sponsored.
When Prismal said that they get Main Chick when like things are down bad, I felt like that was us with like the NACL decision getting delayed, and it was indeed fucking delicious.
It is really good. I do want to get Josh's opinion on it compared to his all-time favorite fast food place, Raising Cane's.
They're about the same.
Okay.
So they're both pretty good.
When I eat Main Chick, I expect to cry a little bit. Even with the mild spice, I don't expect that with Raising Cane's. I just expect some good fucking chicken. That's the difference.
That's fair.
But both are good.
Yeah. I honestly...
Raising Cane's has
if
the
you,
better
if
sauce.
you could combine the Texas toast with the chicken from
Dude, the
Main
Texas
Chick...
toast, it's so fucking wet, man. Every time.
The Raising
It's
Cane's
wet.
tea is also really good.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other way to describe the Texas toast but just being wet. Nah, man. I say this in
Cut.
I say this in basketball
Cut
terms.
the episode.
And
Cut the episode.
I say
wet
this in basketball
in the
terms.
paint, maybe? Wet in the paint?
Wet. I say this in basketball terms. It's fucking wet. It's a wet shot.
In the butthole.
Oh, I thought you were going to say wet in the punani. Anyway,
Yeah, okay, this has gone on too long.
thank you so much, everyone. This was episode 11 for Raising NA. Catch us all on, what is it, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts,
Good job.
Anchor,
Yeah, I like good stuff.
all that stuff.